Hey everybody, welcome to FFGLive. I'm Matt, and I'm here with Luke and Alex, designers of Star Wars Legion, developers.
This is true.
And you guys are what are you just gonna do today? What's on the docket?
We have some exciting stuff. First of all, we're going to be playing the new operative Luke Skywalker and the new operative Darth Vader.
Okay.
That's all? We've got some other stuff to talk about too. Alex, do you want to drop it like it's hot here?
Well, I think rumors have trickled out over the last couple of days.
Word on the street.
Word on the street is we are mixing up competitive play a little bit. We have a series of minor errata and points adjustments that will be coming to the game very soon, and these lists reflect some of those changes.
Yeah, we've incorporated a bunch of them into the list that we built, and we'll highlight them as we go through our armies. But in general, do you want to talk a little bit about why we're doing points changes?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. The essence of it is that any competitive game, and we've seen this with a lot of our other miniatures games, in particular X-Wing, in order to facilitate a wide variety of lists and play styles, and to kind of course correct for any inaccuracies in terms of where the power level of certain units and the price of certain units were, you just kind of have to dip in every once in a while and make a few tweaks. So we're not overhauling things radically, but we are,
this is sort of a surgical strike, if you will, of points changes. We've got a fair amount that we're doing right off the bat because this is the first time we're doing it. Subsequent points adjustments will be pretty minor, only a couple things probably, and this is something that we're looking at doing probably only once a year at the most, really. So I guess it won't be too radical of a change. Not quite the same schedule as X-Wing, less frequent.
Sure.
So you'll be able to settle in too after changes. It won't be something that comes every 3 months to shake up the meta or like that. We're not really trying to, create changes for the sake of changes. We're more so just trying to keep things on a relatively even power level and viability,
and have people be able to play what they want to play.
Exactly.
Not feel like they have to play a certain thing.
So most of these changes that you're gonna see soon and in our list are bringing the points levels of certain things down. So that those units feel more viable in a competitive setting, and you see more of them.
And upgrades too, it looks like.
Yes, we're also doing some upgrades, select few upgrades. I think more upgrades than units, really only wanted to touch a couple units.
Sure.
But there was a decent list of upgrades that some of them weren't essential, but it was sort of things where you know what, it would be good to have this as a viable option to create some more list diversity.
Indeed.
Yeah, the vast majority of changes that we're enacting are points decreases, because I think the overall goal is to keep people's miniatures viable.
Yeah, we want you to play with your stuff.
We're very cognizant this is a hobby game. If you have something painted up and it's been sitting on the shelf for a while, we want you to take it down. So that's kind of the end goal here, and I'm pretty pleased with, these are only 600 point lists, but we've got a pretty good variety here.
Yes.
We're teasing you a little bit with these.
Yeah, no, we don't actually have the airspeeder and the ATST on our list, but speaking of something that's
people have noticed
painted
that the vehicles
beautifully,
are on the table.
Painted beautifully that maybe doesn't get played as much. First on our list, of course, was the airspeeder. We love the airspeeder. But here, we can put it right here for you guys.
Slide it towards me, please.
So the points change to the airspeeder. So I'll back up. We're not going to go through the whole list of points changes, but we will highlight the ones that we've incorporated into our list.
And the full list will be coming September 6th?
Yes, September 6th is when the full list of points changes will drop.
Yes.
In the meantime,
although they won't be in effect for a little bit.
That's right. They won't be in effect immediately.
So your tournaments this weekend, don't panic.
Don't worry about it. So we're going to highlight some of the points that are in our list. As far as points that are not in our list, the only ones we're going to talk about are the ones for the airspeeder and the ATST. Now the airspeeder is going to go down to, I have it here.
Thanks too late for my camera shot.
140 points is going to be the new competitive cost for the airspeeder. In addition, its harpoon is going down 5 points to only 3 points for the upgrade. And then the The other weapon, the ground buzzer, is going down from 20 to 10 points. So
all told, a much more affordable platform.
yeah, and that's an instance where definitely Arsenal can be very powerful, but it's not quite the same value on the airspeeder because of that split fire, and because of how difficult it can be to position yourself in order to utilize
to get
that.
both shots.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes, and the airspeeder, despite having cover 1 and armor and a decent health pool, is generally a little bit fragile at times. It can take a fair amount of chip shots.
Kind of glass cannony, though.
Kind of glass cannony, yeah.
You still have to play it carefully.
Right, now with the upgrade that came out in the land speeder, you can get it up to cover 2, and then now with a better points decrease, it's going to stay on the table longer, get its money back. And then Alex, do you want to talk about the ATST?
Yeah, the ATST is not going down quite as much, but it is still dropping to 170. That puts it in line with the heavy vehicles that are coming out for the Clone Wars factions. And I should also say that all of these changes were play tested pretty extensively, discussed pretty
quite
extensively.
yeah.
So we really feel pretty good about where these are.
These are not just pulling numbers out of a hat. Or
Yeah.
I feel like maybe this
I mean, that's
be...
how I designed the game to start with.
Right, yeah.
Confirmed.
But no, we use a lot of math. We took a look at what was performing well, and I'm excited to see some more vehicles on tables because I really do
now we
think they've got a
have-
part to play.
We got a lot of data from the Rally Point qualifiers, from our worlds, high command. You can actually look and see what's actually hitting the table and what you want to bump up.
Well, and as you know, that really is what we see in these development cycles. We see the first year of the game. Some things are hits that you thought were misses. Some things are misses that you felt sure were going to be a big part of the meta. And once you actually see what players are doing with them and what they look like out in the world, you can get a better sense of where things should be ending up.
Yeah, and I think designing the new heavies for the new factions that you saw previewed at Gen Con, I think gave us really a better sense of costing these larger vehicles. I think the Landspeeder and the Occupier are at a good place, but they're not the high end of like what a vehicle could be. And it was interesting to sort of see how there's sort of diminishing returns as something gets more powerful, because there's this sort of insubstantial tax of having one activation or one unit that you really, as it gets higher and higher, it sort of needs to be discounted, even though it would be more expensive on paper. Yeah. So,
a couple of questions from the chat.
Yeah.
One, will this points refresh thing happen at like a set time each year, or is it going to kind of be? Is there a general plan for that?
Without going into too many specifics, we're looking at about once a year, and it will certainly be a specific time that people will know of well in advance. It's going to function a lot like the X-Wing points changes, with the exception.
Not going to be just dropped on you like a surprise. Right
No, I mean we'll reserve the right to make certain emergency adjustments, but we don't really anticipate a huge need for that. And because it is a hobby game, because it's a little slower pace, and because the balance of the game in a lot of ways is quite good, we are looking at more of a leisurely sort of once per year refresher.
Yeah, and as far as
after the competitive season.
Right, and as far as the actual timing goes, that's mostly dependent on like what's going to fit in best with organized play schedule.
Sure, you don't want to have it.
That's
right
the biggest thing we want to be
after a
conscious
season
of.
leading up to it.
Exactly.
Makes total sense.
Sort of at the tail end of a season, after all the major tournaments are done, after Worlds.
Yeah, quite
that's
likely.
That's a good time to reevaluate and
as a member of
refresh the
organized
meta.
play, I thank you.
You are quite welcome.
Oh, yeah.
We
Another
do
question-
talk occasionally, department to department.
Another question that the player had was: are there going to be updated cards available for these, or is it going to be just reference the document?
Yeah, I can answer that. So we went back and forth on this a lot, and we decided it would be best not to reprint cards with changed costs. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is that these points changes are technically meant only for competitive play. So if you are just at home playing Legion on your kitchen
You
table,
don't want to confuse that audience.
right.
necessarily.
The level at which you're playing, these points changes are not going to be as impactful to your games. These are points changes that are tuned for like high-level competitive play. So the game is still very well balanced for just that sort of kitchen table meta. So they're not required for just playing at home with your buddies, or even just going out to a game store unless they're running a tournament per se. You don't necessarily have to follow these points. The other reason being that these points are fluid. So something
that could change again.
Right. Now we don't expect this. We, as Alex said, did a lot of testing. We sort of feel very good about these changes. We don't expect to change them again, but we didn't want to create a situation in which, oh, now we've changed, such and such units points again. Now there's 2 cards that have the wrong points on them. We thought that would create more confusion than it's worth. So all online
a living document
in the rules reference is where they live.
Cool.
Hey guys, hold up a second.
Oh my God.
I think we were addressing this click. Greetings.
We should do offering to cut.
Are you wanting me to say something? Guys, we're streaming over here.
Stop doing what you're doing.
Derek, can you check it out?
Well, we can't. I mean, if the warehouse has to, or those guys have to work.
Guys, we're streaming over here.
Hey, do we have sound back?
Yeah. Well, all right.
I mean, if the warehouse has to, or those guys have to work.
Guys, we're streaming over here.
Turn that off, please.
I did.
Hey.
Still clicking, but it's not that big of a deal, really.
Okay, you guys are back on.
Click is
All right.
still there.
Click is still going on.
Hey.
I mean, we don't really have time to go back through everything that we covered.
Right, and go back and spoil everything we're doing for the next 2 years. That's unfortunate. Out on that.
But we were talking about the points changes.
Again.
Alex did reveal he's a lizard person, and
Yeah, that's actually all that you missed was a bunch of jokes about being
That's
Trandoshans.
just scurrious and libelous and slanderous.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. I think we cut off just while we were finishing up, just saying how this is something that we're going to talk to OP about in terms of the schedule. It will be after competitive season. Try to be as undisruptive as possible, once a year at the most. I think we can go through our lists.
Yeah, let's do that. And
right.
People asking who missed or just joining us, the points changes will be in the rules reference.
Yes,
I believe
right.
later this week.
The 6th.
And then it'll be legal for organized play. I think it's the standard 11-day rule.
So there will be an effective date on the document.
Cool.
So refer to that when it comes out for when the points actually go into effect.
Perfect.
Yeah. The points and some small errata too. So.
Nice. Let's talk your guys' lists here.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Luke, you go first.
I'll go first. All right. So I'm going to put stuff in our dice cam here for y'all to see. Right off the bat.
I have your list up, Luke.
Excellent. So we've got Luke Skywalker.
Go center the
Jedi Knight.
thing, please.
Quick question too. Points decreases we've talked about a lot. Any points increases?
There's a
select
small
few.
handful.
Small
handful, and those are for units that we really did feel were too dominant in a pretty extreme way. So not too many, and I don't believe any of them render anything unplayable. There's a couple.
Yeah, this is mostly an all ships rise with the tide situation.
Sure, and just a couple of small holes drilled in a couple holes there.
Yeah, just a little bit to settle some down.
Yeah.
Okay. Luke Skywalker, I've got upgrades for him. So obviously Luke Skywalker has already been spoiled if you've read the article on him. This is the operative Luke Skywalker. He's a Jedi Knight now.
Kind of represents him becoming a little bit distant from the Rebel Alliance while he sort of pursues his own quest.
In Return of the Jedi, he kind of is on his own. He shows up at that briefing to be like, count me in. And then he kind of does his own thing anyways. After helping with the speeder bikes.
Count me out.
He kind of dips. So this is Luke as an operative. He's sort of on his own quest now, but he's still there making an impact, obviously. He's just not leading the army.
And your leader, your commander, is just a generic...
Right. So my commander, actually, is just the good old-fashioned rebel officer.
Salt of the earth.
Salt of the earth, yeah. He's a stand-up guy. And then going back to Luke, just highlighting a couple things. He still has jump, he still has charge, still has deflect. He now has disengage, which lets him exit melee without having to withdraw from as long as it's one unit, if he's dueling one person. Of course, we see him do that in Return of the Jedi, where he just flips over Darth Vader's head and says, how about we pause for a minute from fighting? He has immune pierce, of course, and he has Master of the Force 1 now because Luke has begun to master those Force powers.
That's pretty cool.
Also, he's got quite the lightsaber attack.
That is an improvement.
Yes, 1 die improvement, but 1 die is a big deal. You now need 7 black dice for him. I've got some upgrades on him. I have Saber Throw. Now, Saber Throw is one of the cards that we are reducing the cost of in the points change. So Saber Throw will now be 5 points. So obviously, Commander Vader will be very happy about that. It's good on Obi-Wan as a ranged option. It's good on Luke as a ranged option.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where it's a perfectly good card. It just needed to be a little bit more affordable considering how valuable that slot is, that upgrade type, and it was incredible options are in there.
Yeah, and it was sort of artificially raising the cost of some characters, in particular Commander Vader.
Exactly.
We also have Force Reflexes. Force Reflexes is another one that's going down in cost. That's going down to 10 points, so also
a 5-point drop on both.
Exactly. And the reason for that one is in the original core set game, playtesting, it was very powerful and very important to have it. Turns out, though, it wasn't necessarily 5 points more powerful than, say, Force Push. So we're dropping that down to the same level as that card, 10 points. So I wonder, if we had like a barricade.
What
if we had
them?
Yeah.
Get to extreme.
What about that?
That works.
All right.
Just like that.
All right, sweet.
Cool. And then I've got another card for Luke, Tenacity. That's staying the same. But now it means you get to roll 8 dice in melee if you serve. So you can give him a whamma jamma on there.
There's pretty much nothing Luke can't delete in melee.
Pretty much. That's the idea.
I mean, lightsaber with a Jedi Knight is not someone you want to be up close and personal.
Yeah, don't tangle with him. So that's Luke for you. You saw my commander, the rebel officer. I've also got a ATRT. Just your bog standard ATRT. They're not changing in points at all. However, the points cost of their guns are changing. So the 3 ATRT weapons, the flamethrower, the rotary blaster, and the laser cannon, are changing to all 20 points. So that is a 5-point reduction for the flamethrower, a 10-point reduction for the rotary blaster, and a 15-point reduction for the laser cannon.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, they're kind of interestingly equivalent in value.
Yeah, they turned out to be pretty
even. Such side grades. They're all kind of highly specialized. The flamethrower very, very good up close. The rotary sort of your middle of the road, and then the laser cannon longest range and best tank hunter, but
very hard time getting through cover with only 3 dice, even though it has that range 4. So they each sort of, your sort of rotary cannon is your sort of generalist, and then the other 2 are sort of specialist. So they really were fine at exactly the same point value. And I do have this one equipped with the rotary cannon, which, as I said, will be 20 points. What else we got? Oh, thank you, Ryan. I have a second support in my army. I have the 1.4 FD laser cannon team. And if you look closely at that card, you may notice a small errata. This is not getting a points change. Can anyone spot it on the
we'll
chat
see
here?
who can
Oh, it's stationary now?
No, it's not stationary. It rolls 30 dice when it attacks.
Wow,
no, not
crazy.
that either. Nice guess, though. I don't see anyone responding.
Check YouTube here. Range, somebody says?
Yes. No,
right, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
You got it.
Range 5.
So
There's a new range.
We've
There's
added
no
a new
range in town.
Exactly. So this was also something we did a lot of testing for.
Since it can't move.
Since it can't
It
move.
wasn't appealing enough,
yes.
I'm guessing, with a more limited range. Makes
And
sense.
it could still do work as create an area of denial when it was range 4, and you only get 4 range rulers in the core set. So for a very long time, we never really had that as a live option. We don't want to necessarily have people need components that they don't have immediately at their fingertips.
Sure.
However, at this point in the game's life, many people have bought 2 core sets.
Sure.
Many people have friends who have a core set. If you're playing at a tournament, you can borrow someone's range ruler. You can also buy the range ruler separately. In general, you need more dice than comes in the core set to play too. So all in all, we decided it was worth it because of how effective it was at balancing some of the things we wanted to do. So this is the only change to the laser cannon.
But a significant one.
But a significant one.
That change, is that going to be on cards going forward? Or
Yes,
no?
so thank you, Matt. Good distinction. So these
I didn't
point
even
changes.
that was just for me.
These point changes, as we've discussed, are competitive.
Yep.
And they are things that will continue to be updated on a semi-yearly basis. However, errata will always be official in all senses of the word.
Yep.
When we reprint that product at the factory, it will have that new range on it. So just referring to the rules reference, there'll be a section that says points changes, and it will say these are for competitive play. And then there'll be a section that has the errata, and the errata are always in effect. You should be playing with those errata even on your kitchen table meta, because a lot of those are there's a few that are balanced. This is a balanced one, but most of those are actually addressing rules interactions that we need to make sure work correctly. So errata will be reprinted on new cards.
People who are worrying that Rebels are getting all this cool stuff, worry
don't
not.
sweat it.
We haven't gone into
Oh yeah,
houses
we've got
with-
hang on.
Like, just hold up.
So the rest of these are a little less exciting, but there's a few in here. I've got the Rebel Veterans, and I have them equipped with the CM-093 Trooper.
Really rolls off the tongue.
I know it does. And fun fact, people have asked, that is a gun that is in Star Wars. You just have to watch very, very closely at the Battle of Hoth.
Yeah.
It was featured more prominently in a cutscene where the Wampas attack Echo Base, but it is there in the Rebel gun line. That weapon is getting a points decrease. This is probably the most recently released. This is the most recently released thing that is actually on our list of things that are having their points changed. That's going down by 5 points to 26. And we had found in later testing and in doing some more math that the efficiency of this gun was not quite on par with the efficiency that other heavy weapons add to units, and we didn't want the Rebel Troopers to kind of be left in the dust efficiency-wise. And that came from, sometimes that'll happen when through playtesting, something changes partway through, and you have less time to sort of refine the new version. Originally, this weapon actually at range 1 to 3 was suppressive. And a suppressive range 1 to 3 weapon on a core unit turned out to be not fun. So we changed that. We cut it and we leaned into this critical keyword that we'd come up with for wave 5 for that wave. But this new version had a little less testing time, a little less refinement, and so the points weren't quite as dialed in as they should be. But we have an avenue to address that now.
So small decrease, but significant if you're fielding numerous Rebel veterans.
Exactly. Then I've got the Mark II medium blaster. Of course, want to run that if I also have some Rebel veterans. Then filling out my core units, I have some Rebel troopers. Actually, I'm sorry, I should back up. So the Rebel veterans that have the CMO 93 trooper also have...
Please say the whole thing out.
Targeting scopes.
Just for clarity.
Okay. Targeting scopes, which... targeting scopes are okay, but I'll tell you what, they're better at 4 points. So those are going down 2 points to 4.
33%.
One of the most minor changes we're making, but again, sort of a...
Yeah, it's a card everybody has.
It's a good card. It just
was a little too expensive.
Yeah, so that's 4 points now. And then last but not least on these guys, I have offensive push, which people have been asking to see this one.
That is a classic card.
Yeah, it's real good. Only 4 points. It exhausts. You are getting a move and an aim at the same time, so it's you can't get double aim out of it, so it stays sort of balanced that way. You're just, probably if you're going to aim, you're going to move, aim, shoot. So it's sort of like that's what you're going to do for that whole activation.
Well, it gives you the momentum that you need to take objectives, to push your position forward. That kind of thing.
But it's mostly a one-time use, and it doesn't get off the rails with somehow generating double aim tokens or something like that. And then for these Rebel Troopers, I have some recon intel, because I had the points. It's a good card. And then, look, they have the MPL 57 Ion Trooper. Isn't that card super inefficient and not good because it exhausts? Well, it is 8 points cheaper now. So that's going to put it at 24. Yeah.
It's a pretty solid anti-vehicle option at an affordable price.
Yeah, and especially with the kind of the hoped increase in people fielding those, giving the Rebels a good tool to take them down.
I think there are a lot of dusty Ion Troopers and HH-12s on shelves across the land, so hopefully this will encourage people to pull those minis down. And
that's maybe some foreshadowing to the Imperial changes too.
A keen eye might have observed.
All right, well, let's get to
people
those
who are wondering
changes.
about getting cards, updated cards. If you are just tuning in, Luke did say these changes are for competitive play, so the actual products are going to continue to be printed with the original points values, because if you're playing your kitchen table, you're playing with your buddies,
we want people to be able to play right out of the box without having to go online, without having to use...
And not get 2 different products, one printed later, one printed earlier, and say, oh, these are different, which, everything that's in the box will be the same. However,
stay that way.
Anything that's an errata, like the change to the range that you saw, that is going to be reprinted that way.
Yep.
Alex, do you want to go
let's talk Imperials.
Yeah, well, of course, I've got the young Dark Lord of the Sith here, Darth Vader, the Emperor's apprentice. That's right. So he's newly roboticized. And kind of coming into his own as a super evil dude.
Yeah, and this is sort of what we see him... This is sort of what we see him in, say, like, the Afro comics, or
this is post Obi-Waning, post
this is still early rebellion.
He's still getting used to his cybernetics. He's still sort of, hunting down Jedi, as is sort of depicted with his Jedi Hunter abilities. So this is the early days of the Empire, before he's fully figured out.
And before he's really taken his place as a commander within there.
Yep, exactly. He's more of an agent of the Emperor specifically at this time. So he's a much cheaper Darth Vader than the Corset Vader. Has a lot of the same characteristics: the impact, the pierce, the ability to move.
He has the same impact and pierce values. However,
but he's pushing himself a little harder at this point. He hasn't quite figured out how to just sort of take it easy and stroll up to the fight. And so he has this ability, Spur, which is going to let him sort of drive himself to greater physical feats at the expense of exhaustion, represented by
And unlike Commander Vader, this Vader has a courage value. So.
Yes. Yep. Which is high, but not infinite.
Right.
So I've given him reflexes and endurance. Endurance is very helpful on this particular Vader. It's going to allow me to spur much more often without ever worrying about losing an action. So that's a solid training upgrade for him. And then Force Reflexes at 5 points cheaper. That's going to help him stay alive a little bit longer. He's only got 6 hit points in this version, so he needs a little bit more.
Still
protection.
has Master of the Force.
Yep. So he's still going to be able to get that dodge every turn. And that's kind of... He's a bit stripped down. This is going to allow you to field a Vader that doesn't totally break the bank. Is a very
he doesn't have to be such a dominating part of your list.
There's a hidden tax though, because as an operative, you still need to take a commander. Because Vader's not telling the troops what to do. He's busy.
Which is where this officer comes in. But this is another activation, and a lot of people like to run two character lists with Veers. So if you're already running a 2-character list, it's not such a tax. And if you're not, you can bring this very inexpensive activation to the table to bolster your other troops and to give you a different point to issue orders
and in
from.
competitive play, officers. They're not necessarily points efficient, but they're a nice platform for adding some of the more valuable command upgrades, such as improvised orders or strict orders.
I'm also fielding, I'm fielding a standard squad of stormtroopers with the DLT. I'm sure you've seen that many times before.
No changes there.
But the other squad has an HH-12 in it. And at 26 points, that is a very affordable anti-vehicle option.
Same discount as the MPL, 8 points, 8 points off. Still exhausts. There's no rata to it. It's just a drop in points.
It brings impact to your list. It brings some very nice dice, but it has the disadvantages of being stationary and exhausting. But it is a great answer to vehicles now that vehicles are getting a little more affordable. I'm bringing short troopers and a mortar team.
You can hand the cards over here. People might as well see them. The short troopers
We have this really nice card stand.
That's right.
The short troopers are relatively new, so in case people haven't showed those, we'll put the card on screen there. And then you have a mortar, don't you?
I do, yeah. The mortar is one of these new sort of fire support units. It's a very potent ability, and the fact that the short troopers can coordinate this means you can have a little bit more activation control and a little bit more flexibility. It doesn't huck a lot of dice, and they're pretty weak dice, but it does have suppressive. It has a very specific range band, but it's a long range band. And fire support allows it to add its critical ability to other attacks.
Cool.
So short troopers, for example, don't have any surge to hit.
Nope.
Adding critical to that die pool is going to dramatically increase its offense. As well as being able to punch through cover and throw some suppression out there. So that is pretty solid. And we have the E-Web Blaster team. This has had another small errata.
Let's see if anyone can spot it.
And we'll see if the chat is able to quickly identify this.
We'll see. There's a slight delay, so we gotta spot the differences.
It's like a highlights
Yeah, kind of.
when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
Except we don't provide the other page.
Somebody already guessed range 5.
No,
Incorrect this
not
time.
not on the web. No, we're not crazy people.
4 health?
No, I always had 4 health.
Range, no plotting.
Yes, no
Yes.
plotting. So very minor change, but it does mean that the E-Web no longer is restricted to a single move in a turn. We found that was a little bit too restrictive.
It still is cumbersome.
It's still cumbersome. You still can't move and shoot, but this definitely allows you a stronger turn 1 as you get it into position.
Yeah,
it
it's
makes
a
a lot of
double
sense.
move turn 1, yeah.
That seems pretty
And
good.
it lets you reposition if you've deployed badly, and is much less punishing.
So
in that
like the
respect.
range fix for the
The 1.4 FD.
that'll be an errata
Yes,
that will
this
be
is
on
an
cards
errata.
printed
Yes.
going forward.
So far,
no plotting E-Webs forevermore.
right. So far, the two erratas are the E-Web and the 1.4 FD laser cannon.
And so I should tell the prize team in OP that, hey, we should make an alt art of these cards
Yeah,
with the new
that seems like it might be
with
a
the new
good thing
stuff
to
for
do.
people who already have it.
Wade, I think Wade is on that already.
Oh.
I have attached a barrage generator to the E-Web.
Yeah.
This has had a modest 3-point decrease, so it is 7 points now, and that just lets you get some of this cool technology on the table. Whereas at 10 points, people were often leaving it behind.
Yeah, I mean, I think at 7, it's still a decision whether you take it or not. We tried it at cheaper, and it became a little too
Auto include.
of an auto include, exactly. And then we will say that the other generator is also getting that same decrease. So both the overcharged and the barrage generator will be.
Look at
7
that. You
points.
anticipated the chat's questions flawlessly.
And last but certainly not least, we
definitely
have some
not
speeder
least.
bikes. Solid unit.
Yeah.
Not a lot of frills, but very effective, very fast, very good flanker.
But surely you're not
points was
paying
a little
90
high.
points for
No,
this.
I wouldn't pay 90 points.
I mean, back in the day.
Back in the day,
They had
yeah.
their glory day with the Veers triple bikes, but
Yeah, there have been a number of newer releases that have put a lot of pressure on these snipers.
anything
other
that's had sharpshooter.
options. Yep. So these have gone down all the way to 75, and at 75, I think it's a very, very nice little fast support unit that you can add to a list with a lot more
75.
ease.
I mean, 2 of those for 150. That's
Yeah.
pretty sweet deal.
Definitely. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more speeder bikes on the table.
Yeah.
I think that's a very strong
So,
option for the Empire now.
Probably the number one question people are asking, because we've talked about it a couple times. Snipers.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say.
Can we tease that a little bit?
Should we let the cat out of the bag there?
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, like, is there anything you
we were going
don't
to.
want to let the cat out of the bag?
No, there are more changes that we're not talking about. But no, we actually ahead of time was like, yeah, let's talk about snipers. So,
Yeah, I think that it's no surprise everybody is well familiar with sniper strike teams. They're everywhere. Very efficient option. They're getting they're getting 2 changes. They're getting 1 errata, and they're getting a slight points increase to the strike team only.
Yeah, so there's a couple things going on. One is just the pure efficiency of the unit. At their cost, being able to get an activation that was that impactful on the battlefield for so few points, I think was the main thing making them an auto-include. Also, they were good at sniping, but just from a pure efficiency
Checks out.
standpoint, yeah. And so they were pushing other perfectly viable special forces units out of the meta, but not necessarily because those units were bad. It was just they weren't as efficient as taking a sniper.
Sometimes there's just an obvious choice.
Right. So like Alex said, the strike team itself is going up to 20 points. I think that's only a 4-point increase, pretty modest. Yeah, and then the rifles themselves, you saw our range change to the 1.4 FD. That was actually a part of our testing on how to do a balance to snipers. So,
Yeah, one of the things that we discovered is infinite range needs to be handled very sparingly. It's an incredibly powerful ability, and moreover, more than just the power of that ability is the sort of lack of counterplay.
Yeah.
It lets you squirrel these units away in totally inaccessible locations.
Sure.
It removes the risk, and it can be very oppressive to play against a unit that has line of fire across an entire table.
Yep.
So along with our discussions about whether we needed a new range band, we tried it out on snipers, and they have gone down to range 5. So it's still the longest non-infinite range band in the game, but it does force them to get a little bit closer to the action, to have a little bit more risk inherent in their play style, and I think that's going to do a lot to sort of curb how oppressive 3 enemy sniper teams can feel. Infinite range is not going away, but it's going to be reserved for very special things.
Yeah.
I
And
believe
those
there's only
weapons that
3...
really can
three things
reach
in the
out.
game that have infinite right now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and snipers were designed, in how they were designed, feel very much like snipers.
Yeah.
And here's an instance where just leaning too far into the simulation of something and modeling it how, you know, it would actually feel ends up not benefiting the fun of the game. There's no other changes to snipers, so they still, you know, you want to
still be competitive.
To get through heavy cover, you still, you know, aim, shoot, try and get 2 hits or roll for a crit. They play very much the same. They'll still be very efficient, but it changes how you can counter them, because forcing them to be closer, but still outranging almost everything.
As a sniper rifle. Sure.
Right, it still feels like a sniper rifle, especially, you know, on a board where you're playing, you know, even 3x6. Still feels like a sniper rifle, but it forces more counterplay in that many of the faster units can get to the snipers over an extended period of time into the later rounds. Normal units can have moved up within the range, you know, their range band 1 to 3 per se to actually strike at the snipers. So. And this went through a lot of testing. We tried a lot of different options. We tried purely points values, but in the end, we felt like that a change to range was addressed it the most cleanly.
So having gone through your guys' lists,
Let's do this.
let's have you guys roll some dice, and I will fire off questions from the chat.
Yeah,
long
if
as
we
they
can
are
be
something that we
happy
can
to
get
answer
into.
questions while we're setting up. Alex and I are playing another one of the Take the Hill scenarios for 3x3. This will be the center objective one. So rounds 1 through 5 score a point for having the most unit leaders at range 1, I believe. We'll pull that up. We'll check.
Yep.
And then on round 6, you score 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
The end of rounds 1.5, 1 through 5.
1.5.
Each player gains 1 victory token if they control the objective token. At the end of the game, you gain 3 if you control the objective token. You control it if you have more trooper unit leaders at range 1
Yep.
than any other player.
Cool. Yeah, so we're going to be fighting over the center here. And we're just going to deploy, I forget what the name of it is, but it's just
Battle
range
lines,
1
basically.
on opposite sides of the battlefield. I was at the full 600 points. So I believe...
I was at 599, but I elected to be red player. So you, as blue, chose your side, and
I must
you
go first.
must play the first unit. However,
What?
there is
Oh my goodness.
a step,
Is something
a
happening?
sub-step
Yes.
prior to the deployment of the first unit.
Do you have a card that says before the
I-
deployment phase?
I have a card that says at the start of the deployment.
Oh, that's better timing.
Right. We thought this thing through.
Yeah.
First of all, let's put this. Well, I guess we can show this off first, but
Yeah,
we're
there
gonna
you go.
have to put this barricade back.
Oh,
on
we're
the
talking
battlefield.
command cards.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to reveal this. It's the start of the deploy unit step. I'm going to reveal, look, in the sky, a really scary guy riding a TIE Advance down onto the battlefield. That's going to cause some problems.
Lord, he coming.
Oh, Lord, he coming. Yep. So Vader is currently descending from on high. That's going to give the Rebel Alliance a few scant moments to reassess their tactical situation.
I don't know exactly where he's going to land, though.
But you know he's a coming. So
Yep.
so this is what this means is that Vader will not deploy normally. He will deploy after every other unit has deployed. He will gain infiltrate and scout 1. So Luke is going to have to consider this while he deploys, and you have the first drop, my friend.
Yeah.
What
that's
if we
true.
both brought that card and both revealed?
That is a great question, and if you both reveal it at the start of the deploy unit step, it still occurs after all units are deployed, and it starts with the blue player.
Cool.
Well, and I
And
think,
this was what here?
sure.
That
Seems
works.
good.
That seems like a
I
good
think
spot.
it was over here. But yeah,
Sure.
we'll put it there. We could, if Derek is around, we could just grab another unpainted barricade that we can continue to use for our card bit. Yeah, card holder.
We'll have that.
So I have no reveal.
Have that
cards to
conveyed.
reveal.
Oh, I think Derek is around.
Derek is around. Let's see here. So I have to deploy. I want to deploy as close as I can to sort of push out where Vader may be able to deploy.
Yeah, that's another facet. If he can spread his lines across
Sure.
the board, he can push me back.
Exactly.
It's a little harder to do on a 3x6, but
Yes.
it's also going to mean Vader's closer to his entire army on
This is true.
3x3.
So let's see. How do I want to do this? I think I know. So I've got to deploy this Rebel veteran team before I deploy the Mark II blaster,
Correct.
their detachment. So I'm kind of thinking about where I want to have his fire lane end up. I've got 2 emplacements, so I'm thinking maybe I can get a good
Crossfire.
yeah,
Cover 2
crossfire
main
going
fire
on
lanes.
here. Exactly. Now, Alex, we should talk about terrain just briefly, because that is an important step when you're playing the game.
Yeah.
So the buildings and rocks are heavy cover for everything. Barricades going to be heavy cover for troopers and the emplacements, not our vehicles. These rock outcroppings here, I would assume difficult terrain for troopers.
Correct.
Not vehicles.
And light cover for troopers.
And not vehicles.
Yep. If they're
Alright.
if they're in the terrain.
If they're in it, yep.
They're touching.
They have to be in it, not just shooting through it. And then the down to ATSC, if we get over there, I figure, light cover? Is that how we normally do that
I guess I would say heavy cover and then difficult terrain to
Sure.
move through it.
Sounds
and then,
fine.
And then certain impassable pieces.
Heavy to both vehicles and troopers?
I'd say so.
Sounds good to me. Okay. So, oh man, if only I could scout forward with this P tower.
Wouldn't that be nice?
The 1.4
No gear
FC
slot,
laser cannon.
Well, you've got a.
However,
you've
I've got
quite
range
the
5 now,
Yeah,
so-
that does.
Which pretty much
give you some
covers
serious
the
coverage.
board.
I do want it to have some cover though, and you know it might be a little cheeky. I wonder if I could just put it in these rocks.
Got people who are asking again about the cards, new cards.
There we go.
So for all the points adjustments, those are
viable.
not going to get new cards. Either
Yep.
they're going to continue to be printed as is, because if you're playing casually at home,
Correct.
you can play just as it says on the cards. We don't want to cause any confusion or issues there. Only for competitive play will you want to use the points or the points adjustments that are in the new rules reference out later this week.
Correct.
The errata, the range changes, will be actually printed on cards.
Yes, and the errata that we've discussed is the range 1 to 5
For the
on
1.4.
the 1.4, and then the plotting being removed, plotting keyword being removed from the
And the
EWEB,
sniper
and then the snipers being range 1 to 5. They're both sniper rifles. So those 4 things are what the erratas we've discussed.
Cool.
All right, Alex. Oh, I didn't actually deploy these guys.
All right, so you got that FD tower down there.
Yes.
Seems like a good spot.
My good friend, might I borrow a range stick?
You can. However, I thought I gave you 4. Oh, you want to check?
I wanna check
You
your
want to check
range.
my range? Range 5.
Yeah, well, you've plopped this thing down. I want to see
have.
what it can do.
Yeah.
That is a presence. There's quite a presence,
It's
it
going
looks
to be
like.
able to shoot all the things.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? So that's great. There's a brief spot of the map where I'm safe for it.
I'm not going to be able to shoot past this building.
But
here.
this puts some interesting pressure directly on my deployment zone in a way
Ooh.
that is not always the case. So, okay, with that down, I am going to, there we go. I am going to,
move it up.
what are you showing? Okay. So I'm gonna actually put this down since I revealed this. And, so it looks like I'm gonna have to put a unit down.
Any
What do I
questions
wanna
from
do?
chat?
People asking about the dewbacks and the debacle
Dewbacks, they're
about
cool.
the dewbacks.
The debacle?
So I believe we had made a kind of a statement on social media about it,
Yeah.
but the wrong size base is included. The correct size bases are being shipped in to replace those, and we're gonna have to go through and open every dewback. And these guys spend all weekend
Just for you guys.
opening every dewback, changing out the base, putting
That's
a new
not
one
true.
in,
It's
resealing
just,
it.
It's just Matt. We keep telling him other people are helping. But,
Oh gosh. So they are going to be delayed.
they
I
are,
think
yes.
a few
They
weeks.
didn't delay the. They didn't impact short troopers.
Yeah,
and short troopers being out now.
Came out. So yeah, the dewbacks.
And if you did get the wrong base, contact customer service.
Yes.
I think they were briefly out of bases.
I
they're
think they
replacing
didn't have
all
the
of
right
them.
color and the right size. So if you did have an issue with customer service, reach out to them and they will get you the right size. And that really only applies if you bought a dewback at Gen Con, I believe.
Yes, that should have been the only place they were available. So limited amount, but we're definitely replacing those. Please
just gonna
contact our customer
deploy
service.
some
When are these operatives coming out?
good old-fashioned stormtroopers.
That's a good question. I don't actually know. You might have to check our article.
I'm pretty sure they're out before the end of the year, but I'm not entirely
Oh
sure.
yeah, they're definitely out before the end of the year.
So Q4.
Yeah, Q4. Sure.
That's why. That's,
I mean, Q3.
whenever
would be
anybody asks me when anything comes
pretty
out, I just say
soon.
Q4. Even if they ask me in January, it's Q4.
All right, we got some strong clippers.
Alrighty.
DLT
Okay.
19.
So you think you're gonna come around that way, huh?
I mean, someone's got to
Avoid
claim
my-
that. Someone's got to claim that objective, right?
With my FD tower.
Somebody wants to know when Christmas is? That's December 25th. At least in the United States. I don't know if it's different in other parts of the world.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the same map.
Yeah. I don't think that changes too much.
The time zones don't affect that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put these. Do we want to treat this as anything?
Nah, that's just
Alright, we're
that's just some kerfuffle.
just some kerfuffle.
That's right.
Some.
Well, you know what? It's kind of an interesting. It's in an interesting place. So let's call it the same as this. Let's call it
Yeah,
area
right.
terrain, light cover, difficult.
Sounds good to me.
Mix the map up a little bit. And what have we just demonstrated? We've demonstrated a gentlemanlike
Yeah.
agreement about what would be the cool thing to do and what would make for
And
an
what would make it
interesting
more
game.
fun?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So as long as you and your opponents are cool with it, yeah, define the terrain however you like.
Yeah. Well, despite that being.
Thank you, Celador, for
Nice.
pointing out that Christmas in the Nordic countries is December 24th.
Oh, interesting.
really?
Vindication.
All right, yeah.
In Spain, it's
Interesting.
January 6th. Or this person's lying to me to make me look dumb.
Don't believe everything you read, Matt.
I'm done. Go ahead.
I think Twitch chat is a historically very reliable source. This is a question I think I know the answer to, but can you run all 6 of the Luke or Vader command cards if you run them as your commander?
Absolutely, yes.
I
you
guess
can.
even if you don't.
You absolutely
And you can, if you're taking the commander, you can take the operative cards. Operative,
Mix
you
and
can
match
take the
as you
mix
see
and
fit,
match.
or just dump
For
them all.
example, so when I was building this list with just Luke and a generic commander, I had 12 command cards to choose from because I had 6 from Luke's, 3 operative, 3 commander, 3 of the standard neutral, ambush, push, salt, and then the 3 rebel specific ones. So
Cool.
yeah, so this sort of the new operative versions are sort of a stealth buff to the original core set commanders in a way.
Sure, yeah, gives them more options.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, as per how we've done operatives, the operative command cards are not generous in the orders that they issue to other units.
They are not. But you do have sort of a mini commander because Vader and Luke both have some cards that issue orders to more than just themselves.
Right. So, as if you take the operative one, you can include some of the commander ones in order to issue more orders that way. But the reverse of that is if you're running the commander, taking the operative cards means you issue less overall orders to your other units.
All right, we got some speeder bikes down.
Speed bikes. All right.
Steal this cool little PDF.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, people are asking about some things that definitely did get points adjustments.
Ooh. Don't tell them what.
But
We gotta leave some
we gotta leave some of
surprises.
this stuff till September
Yeah,
6th, so you guys
that's
are you're not even gonna download that rules reference. You're just gonna ignore it completely.
Yeah.
We need those clicks.
So I'm going to deploy my Mark II,
Very good, very good.
and it gets to deploy basically as if it had cohesion with this Rebel Veteran unit. So that means he or she is going to get a fancy little bump here.
It is fancy.
Look at that. He's got cover already. How long is this gun? This guy doesn't have 4. This is 3.
Just a 3.
Still, though, moving ahead gives him...
Yeah, that extra deployment is quite nice.
Yeah. I mean, if I went a little further, I could probably
Still a
shoot
pretty
at you
decent
while
thing.
you're in
Wouldn't have
cover,
so
but then I wouldn't have cover. And the other thing, too, is I actually don't know if you guys can see this super well. He's right here. But if I went this way a little more to get some more range, I would not have my center point behind the barricade from his guys. So that's where I...
Operative
that's where I
Vader
landed.
can issue orders with a command card, even though like an operative cannot
No. So to clarify,
yes,
they still follow the rules of operatives.
they can't use generic command cards.
Right, they can't use generics. But if you're running operative Vader, you can include commander Vaders.
Right, and then
Command
you can
cards.
use cards like Master of Evil,
Right, which
or new
issues an
ways
order to Darth
motivate
Vader
them.
and 2 other things. So
So-
that's what we meant.
Okay, cool.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm curious what. Oh, they can see it. Sweet. Yeah, you guys can see my my Mark II.
I think we have multiple camera angles,
Awesome.
although I don't know where these cameras are.
It's almost as
mysterious.
if Ryan knows what he's doing. He's setting up all this stuff. You can't put that mortar out yet.
I'm aware. I'm just doing some pre-measuring. Good old-fashioned
cheating.
pre-measuring.
Anybody who's asking, this is being streamed from our headquarters in Roseville, Minnesota. These guys work just on the other side of that wall.
Very convenient.
Yeah, kind of that way a little bit.
And if you have a rock, you could hit OP from here too.
Please
a
don't.
blaster.
Please don't, though.
We frequently hit OP with rocks.
It is hell.
Rock Wars. As would North America.
And they say OP rocks, and then it's just like, ouch, the pun and the physical pain.
That is painful. It's painful for numerous reasons.
Man, there's a lot of accurate speculation about some of these points changes.
I mean, you're not saying what, though.
No. And then like the 10 people who just guessed are all going to wonder if it was them.
Yeah, there you go. Alex, you done fiddling over there?
Nah. Can you tell me whether your P-Tower can visualize this mortar or nah?
I'm gonna need. Oh, if I can see it?
Yeah, can you see me?
No.
Good. Then we're good. Short troopers and a mortar.
Yeah, you can't deploy them quite at the same time. They are separate.
Oh, that's right. They do come down separately.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
I mean, I'm
Well,
not going to
they're
put a mortar there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, why would you put a mortar there? Oh no, I've made a horrible mistake. I have a Z6 instead of an MPL mini.
You fool.
I'm a fool.
If Derek is around, can
If
you
Derek,
magically make a
if
MPL mini?
If Derek is around, I could certainly use a. I grabbed the Z6 mini instead of the MPL one, but not a big deal. At some point here.
If you have a second to mosey down to marketing.
That's a warning point, sir.
yeah, that is a
no.
warning.
Are you putting on your TO hat here? It is your TO hat. So I've got guys here.
You do.
That's good. I got only that there. That's going to stay there. I don't think I want only that over there. However, them speeder bikes, they're over there, and this is my Ion guy.
That's just a true story.
Yeah, and I might want to put my MPL over there to deal with your vehicle. Because it doesn't do anything to any of these other guys.
No.
You're not droids.
True.
But I kind of like filled in what I wanted over here already. Tough decisions. Well, And you still have your E-Web.
Got my E-Web, got my mortar team, got another group of stormtroopers.
You have one more unit than I do, and I started deploying first, so...
It's because you plowed all those points into
Luke
Luke.
Skywalker,
Super Luke.
yeah, he's a points hog.
Anybody who's asking about, will this unit or that unit, as much as we enjoy the speculation and stuff, just keep in mind we can't, give any teasers on things that are unannounced.
Oh, right,
Because frankly, we all enjoy our jobs too much to do that.
Right, yes, we can't actually answer any questions about things that are completely unannounced.
And we shan't answer any more points questions. I'll just have to wait.
Although, I mean,
When we can
for people
say
tuning
there's a
in,
lot
I'm
of cool
happy
stuff
to.
There is a lot of cool
For
stuff.
people tuning in, I'm happy to go through again what these points changes are that we have already. Alex, I think I still got to put these guys over here because I'm going to run out of cover on
And I'll
this
say
side.
every time I go to the plastics and sculpting office, I see things
so
that
much cool
you
stuff.
would not believe.
Real cool stuff. Oh, you know what? I should check. What is range 1 from this?
That's a good question.
Oh, so I
kinda
can
no
be,
man's
I can be on
land.
the other side of that. Interesting. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm still gonna put these guys over here.
Where's Vader gonna appear?
Well,
It's a shame that he jumped out of that TIE advance and did just
Yeah. How come you didn't use that
Stay in it.
to wreak some havoc? All right. We good.
Okay.
Oh, my man.
There you go.
Perfect.
Thank
Now
you,
you're
sir.
looking legit. You're just so used to grabbing that Z6.
I mean, actually,
you have to break those habits.
actually, kind of, yeah.
The muscle memory. The
muscle
whole
memory. Oh, yeah,
community is going to need to
Yeah.
form some new habits and
That's right.
some new
That
tendencies.
is correct.
Oh, people are asking about an article for the escape pod and C-3PO R2-D2, and I think you're gonna get that pretty soon.
Yeah. I mean,
in fact, yeah.
I mean, as long as it's not Imperial Specialist, you should get an article of everything.
True.
I am excited for that article.
A calendar birdie may have told me that something like that could happen very soon, fairly soon.
Fairly very.
So yeah, you're gonna get an article with preview, teasers, images, all that kind of
I've
stuff.
already done so many articles. How many more do you need? There's so much stuff coming out yet this year and beginning of next year. Have we even had articles for Dooku and Rex yet? I don't think we have.
Popping this mortar down. No, we do
Don't
not.
think
There's
so.
a lot of exciting stuff out there. It's going to be a huge year for Legion.
Yeah.
Mortar.
Mortar. All right. Oh, you know what sucks? I have to deploy Luke before you deploy Darth Vader.
Exactly.
That's I think the whole point.
Well,
You're going to have a much better order activation turn, though. Because I'm
maybe.
only going to give an order to Vader.
Yeah, that's true, but it's not as big
not
of a
so
deal
bad.
round one.
No. Pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
Cons.
Cons Mongolian barbecue.
Not that.
It's a
not
deep
that.
cut for the Minnesota.
Yeah, for the
viewers
for the
here.
Roseville crowd.
audience.
This actually will give me pretty good coverage. Yeah. The-
You
the
have a better sort of rebel base going than I
Trying to
than I
look up
have.
some
An
product codes
Imperial
here.
This is the
fortification.
location of my rebel base.
Apparently. Just this hut.
Yeah, we all lived here, and you had to show up. All right, I got my officer. over
Rain
there.
on your parade. That's how I do. That's how I do. Officers, yes. Officers are good. I'm going to also put an officer down. Boom.
People are asking about mini painting competitions. So I know at the Rally Point qualifiers, there are prizes included for that, and that is definitely a thing that is on our radar to do at some of our bigger events going forward. So kind of keep an eye out for news about that, because we are excited about the hobby aspect. You know, we've done some streams about it. I know you guys paint. I like to paint. And we'd love to showcase, the
one of
really
the-
talented members of the community with that kind of thing.
One of the coolest things about having a war game is just customizing it, playing it on really cool terrain, giving it a sweet paint job that's all your own.
Speaking of customizing and making it your own, can I use the operative models as a commander? Like, is there a reason is there a rule?
So I think that sort of falls under TO's discretion and that sort of thing. I believe that as long as it's pretty clearly telegraphed to your opponent that you are playing with Operative Vader versus Commander Vader, that would sort of be up to the TO and whether they feel like that is
I think rules as
confusing or
written,
not.
it's technically not allowed.
So this is addressed in the tournament regulations,
Yep.
and the TLDR is basically what you're saying, that a lot of these are ultimately up to the TO. If you're using a mini, so minis have to be clearly recognizable as that mini.
Sure.
So say for example, you couldn't use you couldn't use Luke Skywalker as Darth Vader. That'd be kind of weird. As far as using the Operative Vader for the Commander Vader or vice versa, I think that falls under is your opponent okay with it? Are they not going to be confused? Because that's what we don't want. We don't want that to ever be perceived as an advantage that a player has over another one. So, rule of thumb: bring the other model as backup and ask your TO and ask your opponent. Just be friendly about it.
Pavel is asking about Season 2 premium kits for Legion. I believe those are coming very, very soon. They had some holdups just in production and getting those through the supply chain, but they should be around for all the games very soon, Legion included.
Excellent. Yeah, that one's more your purview. Got some more stormtroopers over there.
I do indeed.
Oh, I see you put your HH-12 over there.
I did indeed. I did do that.
No light.
To counter that ATRG.
Yeah.
Speaking of the hobby side of things, I hope everybody did read the article we did about the
Yeah,
lightsaber
I didn't even
LED
know we were
thing.
doing that. That was a surprise for me too.
That was a pretty cool initiative by the marketing team to
Yeah.
do something like that with a community member who's doing really cool work.
Yeah, I love those guest articles.
Yeah, we're excited to see some more fun hobby stuff in the future, for sure.
All right, are those boys
Those
done?
boys are done. placed.
Stick a fork in them.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta put Luke somewhere now.
You do.
I gotta make a
Dude,
call.
where's he gonna go?
Where is he gonna go?
What's the deal?
I'm not a fan of your speeder bikes.
I know they're.
You know my rule.
Destroy them first.
Just shoot them. Shoot them till they're dead. That's how you deal with speeder bikes.
You guys are getting some shade from the chat for being slower than molasses.
We are.
I'm sorry.
Very slow.
I'm doing two things at once. I'm listening to Matt ask questions.
In your defense, that is true.
All right, we got a Luke.
Yeah.
Some people asking, we are not going to announce any new products on the stream, so if that's what you're waiting for, sorry.
So you are
No,
all
so we're
deployed.
spoiling. Yeah, I mean, this is as per our other streams.
Yep.
We're playing with units that have been announced, but we're going to show off some of the stuff you don't know about yet.
Yeah. Mainly in this case, the points changes. And then the
Yeah,
operative.
and the cards, the operatives. Yeah. Which is always a fun time. What's that E-Whip doing over there?
Hiding.
Being cheeky, huh?
Can you confirm that your P-Tower cannot draw line of sight?
Just
I can see your
1.4.
gun.
Ah, yes.
No, I can't.
All right, very good. So you're all deployed, I'm all deployed.
For those of you unaware, it is technically, the full name is the 1.4 FDP Tower Laser Cannon.
They just complained about slow play,
The-
Luke.
I was going to say, if you're wondering why Alex keeps saying P-Tower, that is a shorthand for it.
All right, here comes Big Papa.
So everything else is deployed.
Yeah.
You're in the way, Alex.
Well, he's got to put Vader out.
He can reach.
All right, so it would appear.
Do you guys think that the air and land speeders will both have their own sort of niche in the battlefield? You know, now that they're about the same points cost when they're fully kitted out.
Yeah, because I think the land speeder has a customizability.
He's going to deploy, infiltrate,
Yes.
range 3, and then he's going to use his Scout 1 move to just nestle up behind this.
He's making a
here,
nest?
Down
Vader
to
nest?
ATST.
Man, those are
He's
a
not
nightmare to get
pleased.
rid of.
Yeah, I hate when I find those in my basement.
Pleased that you knocked his toy down. and
Or that we
he's gonna
shot
make you pay
his,
for it.
his
Yeah.
high advance out of the air. Yeah, so the land speeder has a customizability that the air speeder doesn't. The land speeder also can transport a person. Yeah, if you're going, I think they're going to be more comparable now. The land speeder has a lower profile; it can get behind cover more. So there's some trade-offs there. I think it depends on, if you're fully kitting out a land speeder, then you are looking at two things that are relatively similar, and it's going to come down to more of sort of play preference or what fits with your army. Whereas like a low-end sort of bare bones land speeder, that's where it's sort of
Sure.
you have some differentiation there. All right, you ready for
So
this
you
command
just
phase?
revealed that card. You did
I
not actually
revealed it
play
at-
it.
Correct. However, it does mandate that you have to play this card during round 1. So Luke knows
Okay.
that this will be my command card.
Oh, I know.
Technically, it goes back into my hand.
Luke and Luke are both.
All the Lukes are well aware.
It's true.
Well aware of the situation. Make sure he's as invisible as possible.
Anybody who's wanting some close-up shots of those operatives,
We will put them back in the tray at the
even-
conclusion of this game.
better than that.
Oh, yeah, we have a
I
website and
believe we
such
have an
like.
article coming up.
A
real soon.
website.
Oh man, I gave so many.
No
upgrades to
mystery
Luke.
here.
Not as soon, but we'll put them back in the tray here in a little bit.
We sure will.
Give me a hot second here.
But I want to get these guys rolling some dice because
Because it's time. We gotta
It's
start
time.
down.
We got to do it.
Absolutely.
Do it to it.
Slow.
you allowed to remove the peg that's on the airspeeder to make it lower to the ground to get better cover, or is that a no-no?
That sounds like modeling for advantage.
Sure
to
does.
me,
It does.
Which is a no-no. Actually, so because I didn't have my command cards out, I forgot that I have recon intel on my rebel troopers.
Oh.
Do you mind if I just do a speed 1 move with them, sir?
Oh,
it
very
won't
well.
affect Vader.
Very well.
Glucose 98.
Barricade.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's been a change in FFG's mission with communication recently. Legion seems to be getting a much more involved treatment from the employees. Well, part of that is that Organized Play, at least, actually has a person whose whole job is communication and talking to the community, which is
Yeah.
me.
Yes.
It's this guy.
We also have another person who's doing all the writing and stuff of the articles. But yeah, we've really tried to make a concentrated effort to talk to the community more, interact with them more, hear your concerns so we can act on those, and maybe even give a little bit of context as to why we do certain things the way we do it, even if it's maybe not the way that some people would want us to do it at first glance. So we are glad that you guys are seeing the benefits of that.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready
right.
for this.
Choose your weapon.
Whoops. Just flipping
Not
cards.
impressed.
Covering fire.
All right, solid. So you issue your orders.
Not very exciting.
Well, actually, we roll off.
Oh yeah.
Interestingly enough, so I'll do the honors if you don't mind.
Are you blocked?
On blocks, I will have the initiative first. All right, so it's going to be you.
Okay, cool.
So you have to just issue your orders first, which you're doing.
Yep.
I have to issue Vader an order. When he's issued an order, he receives 2 surge tokens. Should help him stay alive a little bit better. And
here we go.
here we go. And away we go.
Yes.
Is there any plans to have Clone Wars have an errata on release at all, or is that we're pretty confident that that is a good place to start
There
out?
are no errata to any Separatist or Republic units,
Errata or points
upgrade
changes.
cards, or points changes. However, some of the changed upgrade cards will, of course, affect Separatists and Republic as well. By the time we designed the new core set, we had a much better understanding of where things should be priced. So it's possible that they may get changes in a year, but we're going to see how they do first. I feel pretty good about both of those factions.
Alrighty. Well, there's a mean old Vader over there.
He is so mean.
So this guy's gonna. Well, what am I doing? I have to draw.
Yeah,
I'm cheating. That's what I'm doing.
Listen, I feel you. I'm held together by like cold medicine and caffeine.
Would you like to cut?
So, yeah, why not? Yeah. So this is a nice way to ensure that your opponent has truly randomized the tokens.
Hey, look, it's what I wanted to do. Actually, thanks, Alex.
You are basically just magic.
See, I've been playing droids too much lately, where I assume I can activate whatever I want because all the tokens are out on the board. We're gonna.
It's just teasing that Clone Wars more and more.
Yeah. So really, all I want to do,
Chip some shots into the Dark Lord?
is be able to see him.
That's very reasonable.
And I can't quite right now.
Yeah, Khrushchev asking why we don't do like a rule book with all the points changes in errata. That's really because, like you guys said before, things could change again in the future. They could go back. They could go back up. They could go down even more. And asking people to pay, X amount for something like that is not something that we really want to do.
You're at
5 black dice.
Bring it on.
Hey, you're the roller now.
No, you can roll. You're
Not like
close
last
enough.
time.
You're
No,
close enough.
it's your turn now.
Alex, did you forget surge tokens?
What's that?
Did you forget surge?
Oh, they're behind the Vader.
Okay.
There you go. Surge tokens.
No, man. Roll your own dice.
All right.
Also, the turnaround
I
time.
refuse to help you. I refuse to help you with my hot fingers.
I got 1 crit through.
You did. So let's see Vader roll a defense roll.
He had heavy cover, by the way, so
He did.
canceled that 1 hit.
All right, I'm going to
hey,
spend one
look.
of those handy dandy
I don't know
search
if people can
tokens.
see. Do we have the? Can we put the dice tray up on the thing there? So. There's
So I
an
rolled a
example
surge.
of-
I spent a token. I changed it to a block. I'll take a suppression. And I weathered
that.
that storm admirably.
Yes, you did.
All right.
Yeah, and the other thing about doing printed changes like that
To
is
me.
the turnaround time to get a rule
Would
book
you like to cut
manufactured
this?
and distributed is not insignificant.
There you go.
Thank you. What did you give to me?
Yes. What have I done?
'Tis my support. One of them, anyway. Not a great draw for me. I was kind of hoping to delay
Save
a little
them a
bit.
little?
Yeah, I don't love having to go with either of those things at this precise juncture. I could try to just delete that,
No, I don't know.
but I don't want to risk it because if it doesn't work out, I'm just going to get coordinated fired right off the board.
Yeah, that's how that goes.
But I also don't really want to move my E-web into a place where it can be shot. I guess of those
Well, you
two
gotta move it up,
options,
though.
then this is what I sort of mean about like the lack of order control for that first turn.
Yeah.
It can still, it can still end up.
It's more impactful on this 3x3 board where we're getting
Certainly.
a sooner engagement.
I'm gonna move up to there,
But if you're playing battle lines on a
up to there.
Look at you, double moving.
So that lack of plotting is going to hopefully come in handy, although
Yeah.
I am in danger of some
The
enemy
snowtroopers
fire.
are all in butts.
Moved up, can't shoot.
Not this
Good to
round.
go.
Let's check some ranges.
Well, he's checking some things. Alex, can you speak a little bit to why, with the strike teams, why you chose to do a points change instead of making them like a detachment with an errata?
In general, we are trying to do as few erratas as possible. We did play around with a few different things. And that would have involved a completely different playstyle for the unit.
Yeah, sure.
It would have really radically changed how list construction works. Generally speaking, our philosophy for rebalances is how can we do the least amount that's going to have the most impact?
Sure.
So the changes that we've chosen are as minimal as possible while we still feel being quite impactful.
Sure, I'm doing the job. Makes sense.
Sorry, I'm reaching in front of you.
A lot of people asking about a Legion app like we have for X-Wing, and I believe Andrew last Friday on his Ask Me Anything stream kind of went into the fact that apps are expensive and difficult to do really well.
We'd rather do this at all than not do it. So we thought, because it's a small amount of changes, because Legion is a bit more of a, I don't want to say casual game, but I think.
And it's less focused on like earning points by destroying enemy things.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
X-Wing is very
that is
very
how
finely
you win.
tuned.
That is how you win in X-Wing. So the points matter so much.
And there's no squad building restrictions in X-Wings either.
So
the only balance point is how each individual ship functions.
Yes.
And if any individual ship is head and shoulders above the rest, you can build a whole list out of that one ship.
Right.
So you can't do the same thing in Legion.
very fair point.
Consequently, we felt like a PDF online is fine. It's not like X-Wing where you need the app in order to build armies. You can just refer to that PDF. And then also, too, I guess what I was getting at is being more of a war game, a hobby game. I think people who play those already are a bit used to having to refer to costs of things in books or online, that sort of thing. All right, I'm shooting 5 dice into your e-web.
All right.
Well, I aimed.
That's a good thing.
I don't convert surges. Nothing.
All right. So
Well, 2, but you have heavy cover.
Yes, I do. So I'm going to take a
However,
suppression.
because of covering fire, I can give
You
a
can do that.
dodge token to something at range 1 to 2. And that's going to be Luke Skywalker.
I have drawn a core unit. I am probably just going to take this HH-12 shot if I can,
Oh, I did move closer.
which
to
I
you.
can. So I am simply going to aim and fire.
Okay. This is just the HH-12 reaches.
I believe just the HH-12 is in range, correct? So
All right, lay
you
it
don't
on
have
me.
cover from barricades.
No.
I just get 3 black dice.
A couple people are asking about the
And I get my
operations
aim token,
that we
fortunately.
had done. And
So that's going to be an impact
Nice.
3 hit.
No, that's
I do
gross.
have to exhaust my HH-12, but that's a solid start for
don't
that
like it.
unit.
I don't like it one bit. Yeah.
And the operations, that's the thing that we're not against doing in the future. It is,
I actually
however,
blocked one. You actually blocked one. Push 2 through.
however, just not a thing that organized play has the bandwidth at the moment, trying to keep up with the kits and the number of events that we are doing. So as we get some of that stuff on track, it's not out of the question for operations to come back. But right now, the decision was made to prioritize, getting the must-haves done, not the nice-to-haves.
I want your speeder bikes to go so I can shoot them.
I'd really rather they didn't. We'll see what the stack has to say.
Yeah. Your mortar is just going to start pounding my guy, probably.
That's the hope.
Yeah. We'll draw. Hey, that is going to be my laser cannon.
Oh yeah, that's good.
They're going to aim and shoot at your E-Web.
Yep.
So we've got. That's not it. I was like, that's only 4 black dice. 5 black dice. I'm looking at the wrong emplacement. So 5 black.
Alex, do you have any, we've talked a lot about faction identity with the
Aiming
new
and
stuff
shooting.
coming. What do you feel are the really core faction identities for Rebels and Imperials?
Oh, good shot.
That's
That's
a
hot.
great roll.
And you were shooting at.
The E-Web.
All right, 3 saves for me. Come on, my friend. All right, takes a wound. Takes another suppression now. Okay. And of course, one of the other disadvantages of an operative is I cannot use Vader's courage to prevent myself from panicking.
Right.
So I'm going to cap out at 4.
Yeah.
So if enough suppression piles up, probably fine. But you're
Mm-hmm.
right. In terms of faction identities, I'll expand on that a little bit while Luke contemplates his.
Oh, I just went. It's you.
Oh, right. You shot me.
Yeah.
That's how
I
this
did.
game
I mean, I
works.
could go again if you want.
Core unit. Core unit, this mortar, as we discussed, that sounds like a good target to me.
I don't
So,
like it.
well, let's see here.
don't
Short
like it
troopers
one
could
bit.
also go. But no, I feel like the mortar's a pretty solid option. I think it's just going to aim and fire.
What was the question? Faction identity?
Faction identities for the Rebels and Imperials. We've talked a lot about how Republican separatism is a very
Yeah.
strong identity. What do you kind of feel is the identity for these two?
Well, I think if you imagine things on a rough sort of linear
There's
spectrum,
one crit so far. I'm going to spend my.
at least in
intro.
terms of sort of expensive but powerful to
Right.
inexpensive, less powerful, strength in numbers, you sort of have the Republic on the far end of the spectrum of expensive but powerful. You have the droids,
On the
CIS
far
on the
other
far other end, and then Rebel and Imperial fall more in the middle. The Rebel and Imperial factions are more similar to each other than the two new factions are to each other.
But that being
Nonetheless,
said, the
yeah.
Empire is better at sort of holding things down. They're a more defensively oriented faction. They're less mobile. They have tools like suppression, and sort of they have the heaviest armor in the game, at least so far. Sure. The Rebels are much more about speed, maneuverability. They're a very hero-focused faction. Their commanders are some of the most impactful units in the game. But they have lighter defenses. So they're not going to be able to just duke it out over open ground the way that the Empire can. They have to utilize dodge tokens, more cunning. They are better shots, but that's kind of where they're at. But they are a lot more similar than the new factions for a number of reasons. And one of those reasons being we wanted people to be able to get into the game at roughly the same level, depending. And the other reason being just they're, human, for the most part, warriors or humanoid warriors with similar levels of technology.
Sure.
And so, they're not as different as, clones versus droids in terms of just their baseline capabilities.
Awesome. I think that's a great answer.
Oh, Luke, you got to make a save. I did roll a crit on your.
Oh, I'm sorry. What
no
were you
worries.
shooting at?
Mortared
on,
your.
Just roll a white die for me.
The
White
head
defense die.
I put a wound through, and I put 2 suppression on you.
Got it. So while you were talking, I'm fiddling with my commander here, trying to get
Does
him
Luke kinda
to
come-
move. No,
come-
Luke's my operative.
Oh, that's right.
He's my commander. I just am trying to get him close enough.
Oh, sure. To try to inspire. Next turn, maybe.
Well, actually, that's a good point.
Why am I helping you?
Yeah, he was. So he's range 1 to 2 is enough to inspire. I was trying to get him close enough to use take cover.
Oh, sure.
On my emplacement. I'm not quite close enough, but I can give it to these rebel veterans. So if I could have a dodge token.
Certainly.
And actually 2 dodge tokens because they have.
Yeah.
What do we call it? Defend 1.
Yes,
And
they're issued in order
order.
to get a dodge token. That's
Yeah,
very
so
true.
they actually have 2 on them. Alrighty, that's to you.
Okay. Pull from the stack.
Robert is expressing his concern that he doesn't always play with people who read every PDF or use apps to build their squads, and I guess that's a great reason why we are not changing the actual card. You can still play if you play casually at home with your friends and nobody's using the online websites or reading the PDF for the errata and the points changes. That's fine. You can play as is. You can play as is on the cards, but for competitive Legion.
Yes, we're not mandating these changes.
Yeah.
If you and your group of friends decide that you would like to use these points changes,
Certainly.
by all means. Other than that, if you're going to a store to play with strangers or to a tournament, I would probably bet on them using the updated points.
And when in doubt, ask too.
All right, I've drawn a core unit. I'm going to nominate my short troopers. They're going to move just up to the edge of this difficult terrain for their first action. And their second action, they're going to use the shorter movement template to move across the difficult terrain. Ideally, that'll put me in range 1 of the objective. It looks like it does. And they're going to sort of take some cover in these rocky formations.
Did you move speed 1 there?
I did. I moved less than 2 to get to the edge, and then I moved speed 1 across.
Ah.
So now I just have to make sure that I'm in cohesion, which
You
it looks
did.
like I am.
That's my
And-
judge hat.
There we go.
This is not because I think Alex is cheating, but because I just want to point out for people who are newer to the game, the little things that we're doing that we have in our heads while we're playing.
And just in case he was.
And just in case he was cheating.
Yes.
Exactly. All right, well, have you
I gotta say, these short troopers look so good.
fallen into my trap?
I hope not.
The
I hope you
activated
can't shoot me.
card.
I'm trying to be sneaky.
No, you haven't.
Trying to be cunning up in here.
Yeah, and I would definitely not be able to shoot you. Well, I think, that
Say Imperials cheat, they change the deal all the time. It's true.
That's true.
Has there been any talk of introducing the ability to pass your activation, like we've had in Imperial Assault in the past, to kind of mitigate the impact that high activation lists have against low activation?
I mean, we've basically talked about pretty much every conceivable rebalancing mechanism, but in terms of activation counts, we actually don't feel that that is as huge a problem. We've played a lot of games with high activation versus low activation armies. It is an advantage, but it's an advantage you can build for, and the disadvantage is often that you spread your forces a little thin. There's sort of a sweet spot, it seems like, in competitive play at around 9, 10, 11 activation.
Sure.
We've tried, of course, in playtesting huge activation lists. I think, didn't you get up to 16 once?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just, at a certain point, the quality drops off.
Right.
So, I don't know that we're going to see a lot of 6 activation armies out there.
No.
But we feel that sort of like between 8 and 12 is a pretty acceptable range, and there's a lot of list variety in there. So pros and cons to high activations, and we feel like it's sort of in the realm of balanced enough for now. Obviously, if that ever changes, we'll take another look at it, but we don't have any major concerns about that at this precise time.
Sure.
Can I have another dodge token?
Yeah.
So Luke is going
You're all
to
dodged
move.
up.
I'm going to tap Force Reflexes for another
Sure.
dodge token, and then I'm going to recover so that it's ready again.
Seems legit.
And that's because I can't get close enough to actually attack anything. I could double move, but I'm only getting a little extra distance, and I am still worried about his speeder bikes. So just sort of repositioned Luke and tokened up.
All right, I'm going to draw.
I guess I could have just taken a dodge rather than... I was definitely overthinking that, but it's okay.
Yeah, okay, so it looks like my officer is in position here. I'm just going, there's nothing, well, actually, I have Inspire. So,
Right.
Rally Step, I'm going to help
Oh.
out my E-Web here
Help those boys out.
with some inspiration. My first action, I think I'm just going to move up to the edge of here, give myself a little more range and flexibility. And then for my second action, I am going to use Spotter to give these Stormtroopers a name token. Hit a little bit harder.
Okay.
And that's
okay.
it for my officer. I did draw Herbie finally before a unit, so I can use her aim.
Yeah.
My stack is not punishing me too much this turn, luckily.
Do we have a question here?
Yeah, Alex,
Yeah.
will the story-based deployments from downed ATST and the escape pod be allowed in the future for tournaments?
Probably not. Those are definitely designed for casual play.
Sure.
That being said, I love the idea of local TOs doing pretty much whatever they want. And I can certainly see a situation in which you play like a 3-round little tourney and every round is a different terrain scenario. Like that would be
But
super
in
cool.
terms of
in terms
the
of,
larger
of
stuff,
high
Grands,
level
primes, worlds, probably
No,
not.
they're
they're
not
not designed
they're
for
not
that.
designed for that.
Sure.
That being said, we certainly intend to release more tournament scenarios. We did
that.
priority supplies. Obviously, we have plans for future products that will introduce more tournament legal battle cards.
Sure.
But the scenarios are definitely more for like a fun day with friends, or some sort of event you can host at your game center. They're not really finely balanced for competitive play.
I gotcha.
Are you sneaky devil?
Sneaking.
You sneaky devil. My goodness. All right.
I think you have a command.
Through a
command
combination
token
of
over by
2
Vader.
speed 1 moves
Where's your operative command
and
token, sir?
reposition,
Oh,
I'm there now.
Oh, I see. Yeah, whoops. I'm so used to giving Vader his commander token.
Again,
It's gonna take a little getting used
Alex
to.
with the shady moves.
Just a cheater. A cheating cheater.
Thank you, chat.
I am done, by the way. This guy, he didn't remove his suppression, but that's fine. Should have heavy cover against
Sneaky devil.
most everything that shoots at him.
All right, core unit.
That's true. I am going to try to deny you that point,
How dare you?
if at all possible. I'm going to use my shortened movement since I'm moving over some difficult terrain here.
That's true. I could have moved Luke close enough to be at range 1, but that seemed...
Would have exposed him to some
Foolhardy.
danger.
Definitely.
Danger,
Yeah, you got to be
danger.
careful. I have that. I'm going to have that choice with Vader soon. Like, do I, get up there or not? So, everybody can see you. I'm just going to try to push some shots through heavy cover here.
Who are you shooting at?
I'm shooting at your
Oh, yeah, my guy who moved up.
emplacement. So it's going to be. This is a very
Please
classic.
again, use the full name.
This is a very
Yeah,
classic.
you can just barely see me, can't you?
Yep.
Can the
Stormtrooper roll.
Can the guy at the end see me?
Yeah, just barely.
All right.
Because friendlies don't block line of sight.
I love these sculpts of the Rebel veterans and the short troopers.
Oh yeah, sculpting
All right,
really
that is
knocked it
very
out of the park
solid. I'm
with
going to
those.
use my aim token to reroll this one white die.
Boo.
But that was a very good Stormtrooper roll.
Push the dice into the center, please.
So we basically got 5 hits here.
Why are you rolling black dice? Who's shooting me?
DLT. Oh, so it should be red. What am I doing? Here, let me reroll
Well,
this.
you rolled 2 hits. So.
I did, but let's do this right.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still 2 hits.
And we got 5, so heavy cover's gonna block 2. 3 go through.
Oh my goodness. Can I have 3 white defense dice?
You certainly may.
I don't like this. I could die right here.
You could.
This could be it. No, I'm fine.
You're okay, but you do take another suppression. You inspired one off, I assume.
Yeah. Do you want to have your wound?
Yeah.
Because I didn't block all
Just
3.
reach across the table and smack.
1 left. Okay. To you.
Yes. Well, I think I only have. Oh, this was Luke's that I drew. I only have
Just
these
those
guys left,
vets.
and I don't think they're really gonna get
I lucked out with this speeder bike.
much of a. Ooh, actually. Ooh.
I think that'll work.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Bring that potato gun online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was intentional.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, if you can get a shot, then you should take it.
Somebody earlier did accuse us of not, said we were obviously not native Minnesotans.
True in my case, and also true in his
In mine,
Actually,
actually.
yeah,
I've been
mine
here
too.
20,
He's from Scotty.
Yeah. Sorry.
which is just merely an inferior cousin. And I've been here 20-some years. I don't know about Alex.
Where are you
He's been
from
around.
originally?
Army brat. So
So you've been all over the place. Yep.
All over the place.
Take your shots.
we definitely
sir.
don't have the typical accent.
I'm starting to get a little Minnesota creep. I still say vague instead of vag, but I'm starting to
People
get
do
it.
call you the Minnesota creep.
Hopefully
gonna
not.
say.
Jeez, I didn't know that.
All right, what do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 more of these. And you know what? I'm gonna tap offensive push.
Sure, why
Let's
not?
put that back up there.
Hit me hard while you can.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. Oh my goodness.
Whoa, what's going on?
Whoa,
What is
whoa.
this white-backed card I'm seeing?
Well, I had to print it out because it doesn't exist yet.
Oh,
we don't have our
that's
developer copies yet. So that's going to give me an aim token. I'm exhausting that when I perform the move. Now I'm going to attack. So we're going to be 4 white dice, 4 black dice, critical 2, precise 1, and an aim token. Pretty spicy.
Pretty spicy. Now you are organizing all your boys so that they can get shots on me.
Yes.
A risky move.
A risky. Oh, I know. I'm
But we'll see.
exposing myself
We'll
here
see if it pays off for
to
you.
some potential
Not with
speeder
great
bike
risk
fire.
comes great. Never mind.
All right.
Yeah, if someone asking if having the Minnesota accent actually helps you get a job here,
I
somebody
don't
else
think
having
so.
it more accurate, having some form of Brook in your name, first
Certainly
or
seems
last,
to help with the minis department.
that is
definitely.
statistically probably the best way.
All right, so I'm re-rolling 3 dice,
that's
spending the aim token. 'cause
Luke
I've
and
got
I are
1.
outliers here.
Pretty gnarly.
Look at that. All right, well,
Okay. Cover's gonna block 1.
Yeah, because we decided that was
And then I'm gonna get
so 5.
5. Gnarly.
Yikes.
Those veterans, they know how to shoot.
They do. They're some
They know what-
shooty boys.
They know what they're about. Rough stuff for me, actually. So I'm going to lose all 4 Stormies.
There we go.
That is a
So
bad,
that was
bad
a
roll.
gamble that paid off.
That was a
for,
gamble
Luke
that
here.
paid off. Well,
Perhaps. We'll see what my speeders can do.
I've got the double dodge.
You do have double dodge, but you're not going to have any cover.
No, I'm not. I really, I mean, I couldn't. I don't think I really could have gotten cover against their speeder bikes.
Well, you could have tucked behind there, but then you wouldn't have had much dice here.
Oh, I
So
wouldn't have
I
been
feel
able to
like you've
shoot you at
already
all.
gotten a pretty good trade. You've removed my DLT. They were going to get shot anyway, so I'm going to take an aim token.
I mean, that DLT only rolled black dice anyway, so it wasn't as valuable.
I'm
I
going to take
will
an aim
say
token.
that I've heard that if a Brooks ever walks into the lobby,
Oh, they're just hiding on the spot.
We have a badge pre-made for you and
Yeah.
an empty office
Sure, sure.
ready to go.
All right, so I got some lovely rainbow dice.
Hit me with that double rainbow.
You better believe it.
Oh, you roll it?
I don't know why I
That's not
rolled
a dice
there.
tray.
That's not the dice tray.
So I got 3 hits so far.
Suppose allegedly wasn't in the dice tray. So
And then I'm going to
roll the white and the black.
Yeah, re-roll a white and a black here.
Sounds good to me.
So we got 4 through on your vets.
4. All right, I'm going to spend my 2 dodge tokens.
Yep, so 2 go through.
So I only have to roll 2. I should keep some dice over here
Yeah, let's
instead of
just
having to reach across.
divvy it up here.
That's okay. As I take them, I'll set them over here.
Sure.
it's not like we don't have enough dice. to
Only suffered
give
one.
Luke
one
some.
wound.
That's really not bad.
I'm sorry, but this guy, he's got to go.
Okay, very good. So that's it for the round. It was looking good for me until those vets stepped up to the plate.
Yeah.
But
boy.
yeah, I'll remove 1 suppression from every unit.
Oh, you're out?
Go ahead
You're out of
and
stuff?
That's it, yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry, I got Vader. What am I
I
doing?
was like, really?
I
Really?
got Big Papa.
You had, you have more guys than I do.
I do. He's got a suppression. So, all right, so Vader will rally.
I'll allow
And
it.
he's going to try to shake that suppression. Which he
He
does. So that's nice.
Not a huge deal for him.
No, not so bad.
Where are you going to go?
That is a great question.
What are you going to do?
That is, in fact, an excellent question.
Any chat questions?
Blood Moon asking if Alex even measured the range there for those speeder bikes. He actually, it's a little known fact, he has a built-in range measuring device implanted in his eye.
It's true. It was for all the X-Wing games.
Yeah.
You needed that
It's kind of
installed.
true. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, that's it. All right, well, I want to get close, but I don't want to get too close. This is scary stuff.
I got a fair amount of boys over there.
Boys, you got. You do have those boys. Now, here's an interesting question. I could try to force throw and thusly,
You have force throw?
or not for, what is it? Yeah, force throw. It's on his,
on your card, not force
Yeah, it's
push.
got blast, it's got scatter, it's
His force throw
2
weapon.
black dice, and I have a surge token.
Do you want to hand Matt the card? We'll put it in
Certainly,
the
yeah.
roll.
So if I can clip that emplacement, that would be amazing. And I think that's a pretty good
3
plan.
cards in our card holder.
But the question is, how aggressive do I get with Vader full stop? Because it's dicey. Gets a little
It
scary.
is dicey. That's how that works.
Gets a little scary.
The popular phrase is "Who dares wins."
That's right, that's right. Well, in that case,
Are you going to spur?
I am going to spur. So I shook
Spur
my
of the moment.
suppression.
Spur of the moment.
I'm going to take an additional suppression
Yeah, there we go. There's the.
to walk around this difficult terrain.
Do you have the dice cam up?
And I am going to use 2 black dice to hit this emplacement here.
So yeah, what's
is for all
This
the
is
marbles.
relentless.
So this Vader has a built-in attack.
He does.
You know, in the comics and things, we see him doing a lot of
It's 1 so far.
force blasts.
1. It's
Yeah,
got blast. I didn't aim.
Wait, what was the reroll then?
I just
you
didn't
just
land
rolled
on
Oh,
the
it
tray.
jumped out of the tray. Okay.
So 1.
1.
Here it is. This thing has survived a withering
and it has-
barrage so
right,
far.
I had-
Has blast.
You have blast. It's not a very powerful roll, but it's nice to have it as an
handy.
option. Scatter's the cool thing on there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that won't do anything to my emplacement.
No.
Hey!
Oh, so I just can't bring this thing down despite my best efforts.
Right,
Now
got
let's
it.
use one of our fancy new 3 suppression tokens.
That's true, but I'm
just
about,
for a second.
I'm about
Where's that
to
come from?
remove it though.
Yeah, but it's
Alex.
cool. But it's cool, Luke. All right, so I'm gonna I'm gonna spur again.
Just to let you all know that Luke's broom closet here keeps blocking the dice whenever you go.
Oh.
Room closet.
Yeah.
It's a tiny hut.
I don't even
It's a
want to
tiny-
know.
Well, it goes down underground.
All right,
Have you
Oh,
never been to
mansion
Tatooine?
down there?
Gosh,
and I'll have another
they're like icebergs. You only see 30%.
token from spur, and now it is the end of the round. So
Wait.
now I will use endurance to remove 2, suppression here.
Did you move twice?
Yes,
Oh yeah, right. He still has relentless.
he sure does.
Yep, operative Vader still has
Great
relentless.
Move
Showcasing
left,
of that.
Alex. Move left.
Yours goes down to 2,
Thank you.
and you pull one off of there.
So you guys should pick command cards that are new for this next round, because otherwise we might not see them all before we go.
Oh,
home at
I've
the
got
end
a
of the
plan already. I got a plan. All right, Luke, you ready?
I will be in a second.
day. Luke's broom closet coming Q4.
Take Vader
Yeah.
back. You can have your offensive
Oh,
pushback
thank you.
there.
I do want that. Let's see. I used that up, so that's exhausted.
Only $75 too, man.
All right. What does Luke want to do this turn?
So many good questions.
So many good questions. Interesting. Let's I think you might have conveniently placed yourself out of arc here.
That's my hope.
Yeah. Well done there. Well done.
And of course, at the end of the round, we would have scored points, but we both have 1 unit.
Right. So
existing.
we just tied that.
Because you rolled a lot of tasty armor saves with that little emplacement,
Yeah, I did actually.
as a matter of fact.
It worked out all right. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm ready.
You ready?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's gonna
Dueling
be
1 pips.
an interesting round for
Yeah,
sure.
so let's put these up. So here's one for Luke. We'll let that simmer
What's this
for
one
a
called?
second.
This one's really fun. I really like
You
this one.
serve your master well. It's the 1 pip.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not
Give us a
a
token on
suppressed enemy
Stormtroopers.
unit.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Thanks, chat.
So yeah, that's Luke's 1 pip.
Vader's is Vader's might.
Another super fun card.
Love the art on that one.
Yeah, I really like how this expansion turned out in general. A lot of fun
So
stuff.
I'm obviously giving an order to Luke.
Can somebody explain what scatter does? Because you guys talked about how cool it was, and then
Yeah.
didn't actually
And then
talk
didn't
about
use
at
it?
all?
Basically, it lets you move an enemy unit as though they had just moved and you were placing them in cohesion.
Yep.
So you don't move them any distance, but you can.
You don't move the unit
You can
leader.
knock them. You don't move the unit leader. You can knock them out of cover. I couldn't do anything with this because it is a unit leader, so,
Yeah,
so it
makes
didn't
sense.
do anything against that unit.
Yeah. It also
I
only
considered
affects-
doing it to them,
Right.
but I was trying to get that victory point, so I threw a die at the.
Yeah, and then also
emplacement.
important to note, it only affects minis
Trade
on
this
small
back in real
bases.
quick.
Hold on, Matt.
Yes, that's also true.
So you couldn't use
Give
it
me-
on
give me
speeder
yours, too.
bikes to move the other speeder bike unit around.
All right, so Luke, do you want to do the honors this time? I rolled the tiebreaker last
Yeah,
time.
I'll be blocks.
You be blocks.
It's blocks.
All right, this will be interesting.
Yes, it will. All right. So, I think. So I have to choose. So during Luke's activation, just double check the card. Friendly, commander, non-operative trooper at range 1, or suppressed enemy 1. 1 free move or attack action. If it's an enemy, it can attack other ones. You don't have any suppressed units out that I could target that with, but it's going to let me basically use one of my units a second time.
Correct.
Now, I would have loved to have shot Vader with this guy, but unfortunately, he's out of arc.
Yes.
However,
Yes, I was sneaky like that.
these guys, Matt, what do you think? Can that guy see Vader?
I'm guessing. At least some of them will be able to
But
shoot.
can that guy see Vader? I don't think he can.
No.
No. So that's a no.
From the judge, that's a no.
From the judge, that's a no. So, I think what I'm going to do is I could either have this guy shoot at these guys
Solid
or
play.
at your
The
E-Web.
E-Web would not get cover.
The E-Web would not get cover. Also, this guy's probably going to go down soon. He's only got a couple health.
One hopes.
However, I'm wary of those speeder bikes.
You got choices.
These guys have a pretty decent
choices.
attack, and getting an extra shot on those speeder bikes might be worth it. So Luke is going to go ahead and tell this unit of Rebel veterans to attack.
Very good.
So I lost a guy, so it's going to be 3 black. Can I get 2 white dice, please?
Hold those cards, man.
Thank you very much. Well, thankfully,
Yeah, you surge, don't you?
the
Good shots.
CMO 93. Not only do I surge,
critical
I have
too.
critical too. So
This is up against my E-whip.
no, this is against your speeder bike.
Oh, speeder bikes. Okay.
So you're gonna
So
have
I'm
cover
block
one. So that's gonna be 3.
Okay, come on, speeder bikes.
I guess the crits didn't really matter, but
But it was cool.
had you had more cover.
All right, so let's roll like a rebel in placement. How shall we? Nope.
Oh no,
I was
that works.
asking for too much.
that works for me.
Yep, that's pretty solid.
That's
Those
one back
guys have
down.
been
That's what I
absolute-
wanted.
Those guys have been absolute money this
They're
game.
veterans.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They don't mess around.
Well, what else has Luke got going on? That was just his first little thing.
That was his first little thing. So here's an important question. Do I go for Vader or do I go for the Shore Troopers? Vader's gonna it'd be bad to let Vader go ham over there. So
Might not be good.
as per every game of Legion we play,
That was a bike dead.
yes, one bike dead, one whole bike dead. Luke
not
is gonna slam into Vader.
Alrighty.
Hey, Dad.
Great
As
to
is
get some
tradition.
initiative.
Screw you, Dad.
Yep.
I'm a Jedi Knight now.
It's true.
Oh, boo. I can't actually, I'll
No.
move a little bit that way, but I'm not in range of
That
that.
is perhaps by design.
Alex.
Playing 4D chess.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And
Bring it
then,
on. This is gonna hurt.
yeah, and then that'll proc charge. Don't have tenacity up and running, but that's fine. I wouldn't want the extra rune anyways right now. Matt, may I have 3 more black dice?
Boy, that's a lot of black dice.
Oh
is.
boy, it is.
It is.
Okay, here we go. Spicy.
I mean, that's not bad.
That's a crit. So only 1 blank out of those.
Yuck.
That's 6 coming at you.
All right. Very gross. Well, thankfully a decent roll, but unfortunately you got the initiative, so I wasn't able to get that dodge token up.
No.
And I will be at half health. Smack.
Sliced you up.
You did. Gross.
Still alive.
Still kicking.
Yeah, that's Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight for you.
Well, that
Beating on his
really,
old dad.
that really changes things.
I'm also gonna, Luke also master of the Force now, so I'll use Force
Yep.
reflexes
Get yourself a
and
dodge
ready it
token.
again.
Yeah, why not, right?
Why not?
Okay. Gross. Don't like. Do not want.
I'm coming at you.
All right. Well, I am safely ensconced in melee, so I do have some choices here.
A melee
your
sconce.
Question is, what do I want to do? I think I just want to.
Yeah, I
draw from
use that on the
stack.
Rebel veterans. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, for both Luke and Vader, I think for Luke, we drew a lot of inspiration from just what he does in Return of the Jedi. For Vader, we drew a lot of inspiration from what he does in Rebels, because that's sort of that pre-Battle of Yavin Vader as the Empire's agent.
Does that card allow Luke to decide triggered abilities, like if he makes a unit with a charge move, can he decide if they attack?
I believe not.
Yeah, Marwan, if you're asking for the explanation of scatter, both Kravik and Warkorgi have explained the part that you missed in the explanation. Only affects the minis on small bases.
Yeah, Alex, you designed this card, so you may
Correct.
recall better than I do. But yeah, I don't believe you can use charge or steady because it explicitly says 1 free attack or move. It has to be one or the other. It can't be some
Correct.
combination of both of those.
Correct.
That sounds like a
It
good
have
is
put
not
the-
an activation. It is you're performing an attack or move.
Correct.
as
Right,
the-
it's not an activation.
says.
Yep, that sounds like a good
You would put me
FAQ, perhaps.
in a pickle, Syrah. Because I was gonna do this really cool thing, Luke.
Oh, I'm
If
sorry.
I'd won the roll off.
What were
I
you
was
gonna
gonna
do?
move up.
Yeah,
I was gonna scatter those rebel troopers.
nice.
I was gonna use Vader's might to lift that P tower behind
Oh
the
my
building where it can't do me
That's just mean,
any more harm. And then I was gonna wade into battle with those rebel troopers and murder them all.
Right, well,
So
I'm kinda glad that
unfortunately,
didn't happen.
Luke showed up, and
Yeah.
now I have different decisions to make.
yeah, well, you can still use Vader's might while you're in melee.
Certainly.
What's the wording of
All right.
relentless?
I am gonna draw from the stack.
After performing a move.
Since I am,
You were
yeah,
performing
I can
a
use Vader's might, but now I have to use it on Luke. Luke.
So that trigger?
If I'm going to use it on anyone.
You're just talking over each other at that point.
All right.
Sorry.
So I'm going to pull from the stack. Support. That's not bad. I feel like an E-Web would be a good unit to rely on at this point. Although this guy is pretty darn hurt. So perhaps our best bet is to hammer those veterans again while they remain
That's true.
out of cover. Of course, that blaster is also a solid
What did you
target.
draw?
Support.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm debating E-Web or speeder bikes essentially.
Well, here's a thought for you. The E-Web has a courage value. And it may like going sooner rather than later.
Yeah, but you could just delete that if you get to your veterans again.
That's true. I can still go with my veterans. They could just aim and
Yeah,
shoot.
we're gonna go with the speeder bike.
All right, lay it on me.
We are going to do. We're gonna play the long game, hopefully, and get this speeder bike, ideally away from being able to be shot at by other things.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to hit it.
And we're gonna
except
hopefully-
with those guys.
Put some pain into these. Whoops.
Pain.
Into these veterans. All right. Aim and
I
fire.
don't have any dodge tokens this time around.
True. It's a good turn to hit you. I cannot get it to land in this tray. There we go.
Hey.
All right, and then I'll use my aim token.
All right.
I guess not. All right, 2.
All right, so put them right here. So. Okay, so 2, no cover.
Hey,
Oh.
that's more like it.
That's not what I wanted. Well, all I've got left now is the unit leader and my heavy weapon.
Indeed.
You know who I was sad to see go? There's this lovely, lovely little Celestin.
I'll bet.
It's got to be cold on Hoth. He's used to living on a lava planet.
I'd like to point out to the chat that yes, while we are 2 hours in and on round 2, we did have a nice long chunk
Yes.
of points discussion and other questions
Very important to
before
discuss.
they even started deploying.
40 minutes, actually.
All right.
So there
you.
you go.
Yes.
They're also slower than
We're doing a lot of multitasking.
yeah. It's understandable.
Would you like to cut?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Drawing. Hey, that is my commander.
That it is.
Not necessarily what I wanted. He's going to inspire.
Here's your command card.
He's going to inspire
Throw that up there. It's
my Mark II emplacement. And then I'm going to check range. He is not at range 1 of those guys. He is at range 1 of those guys. I don't.
2 quick questions while he's thinking here.
Sure.
1, relentless.
Yes.
Rules as written, if you make the move with Luke's 1 pip, you could then perform a free attack.
Yeah, I actually believe you can. Now that I was thinking about it some more as they were talking. Yeah, definitely something we'll FAQ, just so that people are clear on it. I believe it does proc, same
If you
as
had
with.
steady or relentless or charge, yeah, that would work.
I
Just
mean,
like with pulling
pulling
the
the
strings.
strings.
Yep.
That's that's what the chat has talked about. Second question.
I think I misunderstood what they were getting at.
Height. And
Yes.
the fact that Vader's 1 pip there mentions height, is that an indicator that we're going to start taking that third dimension into account more often with like claiming objectives that are, multiple height levels above you or
it
below
still
you?
doesn't change measuring things that are purely range. Range is still always 2-dimensional. The height aspect of the card just allows you to put things up on top of buildings,
Yep.
take things down from up on top of buildings.
One cool trick you can
That's
do
all
is
that
you
that's for.
can move a friendly unit on top of rock to get a better field of fire and that kind of thing. It's just like climbing and clambering. That being said, there are going to be more cards in the future that take advantage of the 3-dimensionality of wargaming terrain, scale on Grievous, various other upgrade cards in the near future I think are going to pay off in that respect as well. I'm going to draw from the stack. It is my commander. So I am going to go ahead, and it doesn't look like I have any suppression.
Just activating our commanders back to back.
That's right. I am wondering, I doubt I can get a shot here.
Yeah,
But-
Alex designed Darth, Vader, and Luke Skywalker's command cards for the operative, so if they're weird, you can blame him.
That's right. You gave.
I'm kidding. They're very thematic, and they're pretty cool to play with.
All right, I'm going to move up like so, I think.
So we spoiled the other 2?
We spoiled the
operative?
3 pips
Oh, 3
on
pips, which-
the article. So you've seen
One of them has been played.
you've seen the 1 pips and the 3 pips. You have not
a little
played
bit.
either of the 2 pips.
And I'm going to give.
I think this is going to be our last round, just because. So there's still going to be some stuff to
You
be
don't think we
shown
can
off.
get through 3? I bet we can get through 3.
That's not
I'll
what
set it
I'm.
up.
It's not what my
right,
that's not
my
what your
worst
boss-
sense
let's
is
do it.
telling me.
All right, are you done?
Yes.
What went?
But that leaves something to be
I
spoiled.
gave a name token to them.
with the articles.
I moved up with my officer.
All right. So I got a draw. We've got a core unit. Hey, I think I should go with these guys before there's none of them left.
Seems wise.
So they're going to activate as rebel veterans. They have courage 2, so it's not the end of the world if I don't remove that, which I don't. Oh no, they don't have courage 2. I'm thinking of the Phase 2 clone troopers.
True.
So actually, they do have only 1 action. They are suppressed. The Mark II has 2 courage. These guys only have 1. So they're just going to go ahead and shoot, stay where they are, and fire that gun because they
Alright,
still
great.
have the. They still have the heavy weapon. So I'm gonna
Quick
need-
question: your favorite Legion model, both of you? Like just physically, the look of it.
That's a hard one to answer. I might have to go with Grievous. He turned out so cool, and you can build him so many different
Turned out
ways.
pretty good.
Luke?
I don't know. I'm a fan of that little Celestine I just put on there.
Yeah, he is
But I don't
so-
know if that's my
Oh,
favorite.
what about the Hammerhead dude with the
Oh
shotgun?
yeah. There's some of those guys are pretty sweet.
I really
What
like
are
the
you cutting
Evil.
out with
Holy
these veterans?
cow.
They are wrecking my life.
I just got
that all crits?
4 crits against your speeder bike.
Vets.
There's critical 2 for
I mean,
you.
they've been in the war for a while. They know what they are doing. Luckily, I will survive.
boo.
Just barely.
Yeah, that's still a living speeder
Still,
bike.
pretty gnarly. All right, I will pull.
What is my favorite? I mean, Jin is very cool looking with the scarf and the pose.
Pull
there.
from the stack. Core, great. All right, I'm gonna move up a little with
Right.
these boys.
Now they want to know your favorite unannounced product.
My favorite unannounced product?
Oh, that one? It's or is
Well,
the other one?
No, it's the one that's like
4 black dice with
a
an
part
name
of the
token.
thing with the other thing.
Yeah, that one
Shooting
is
year
pretty-
emplacement. Wow, not great. Got that aim though. Thanks, officer. So I don't remember. Short troopers, no, just 1.
What's funny
which
is
is
I actually
ignored
have-
by cover.
I actually have an answer to that question, but I,
And actually, you have a dodge,
Sure you
so
do.
yeah.
that was pretty wretched from
you do?
the
What'd you
a
do?
wretched
You did nothing.
short trooper performance to you.
Did you? Did
I keep trying to get rid of that emplacement.
Did I have to spend that dodge token?
No, you didn't have to do anything.
Oh.
You just had to watch.
Yep, I just had to watch. All right, I'm going to draw from my stack. Hey, it's these rebel troopers who, turns out the Ion. I didn't
Not
really-
coming into play at the moment.
No, I mean, had I known your bikes would be there, I would have swapped where these guys were. But as it was,
I mean, the veterans have done some work over there, though. So
The vets are crushing it. My short troopers, not so much.
yeah, I don't think there's any way these rebel troopers are going to see that bike.
No.
No, that's just a no. So instead, your E-Web has gone, yes?
Has not.
There's not.
Nope.
Well, and these guys are going to have light cover.
Yes. Choices. Somehow that emplacement continues to just hold that objective despite a withering barrage of
Oh,
fire.
I guess the emplacement. Oh, I'll go with the emplacement.
Oh,
That
what
is.
am I doing?
Well, it's their.
All right,
the
shake that suppression.
Yeah, the emplacements are core troopers, which is different than the normal emplacements. I do
You got
shake
2.
1. Oh,
You
sorry.
need to roll them one at a time.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll 1 at a time. It's more
All right,
suspense.
so shake 1, so
Which
you're
is fine.
not
Because
suppressed.
these guys have 2
Which
courage.
they do. I can't even
They're
suppress this
hunkered
thing.
down.
Can't do anything to this thing.
I'm gonna.
Blaze away.
I might as well while
as
I'm
well.
still living. Just aim and shoot. I'll shoot at the E-Web that has no. Well, or hypothetically, if I kill your short troopers,
Yeah, that means you claim that point.
that is. So I'm gonna go for that. Go for those points. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna dodge and shoot.
Okay.
Try and stay
sense.
alive here. Oh, that's pretty good.
2 go through.
Yeah, 2 go through.
All right, short troopers, may you be better at defense than you were at offense.
Ah,
Okay,
they
that's
are.
what they train for, clearly. All right. I'm gonna draw from the stack.
That's him.
Core.
Crabback wanting to know if we end after this round, are we going to showcase some more command cards? And I think the only way we're going to do that is if, Alex leaps across the table to flip them face up.
That's right.
'cause we've got some preview articles still coming for these guys.
All right, I'm going to recover and fire. Well, let's see. Maybe I wait. I wait for you to draw closer. No, I'm going to recover and fire with the HH-12.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
3.
3. I don't know why I keep putting the dice away over here.
That was me.
Oh. Oh,
Kaboom.
No, great.
All right, 1 left, and you're going to have to make that damage roll.
So I just straight up take 3. Thank you. That's hit my resilience value. They have resilience of 4, so I'm gonna roll this die here. See what I get. Block. That's the most common one.
Yep.
That's the damaged
Your basic.
status effect. So it's
basic
I may
basic.
lose an action each time it activates.
Correct.
All right. If I roll a blank on a white dice, which unfortunately I haven't gone with that yet, so that could affect it this turn.
Am I?
All right. Who was it who shot at me with that? Oh yeah, the HH-12.
Yeah, these boys
All
tucked
right.
away over
Time
there.
to draw. Hey.
Oh no.
I'm definitely going to have this go before it just blows up.
Yep.
So, like I said, damaged. Roll a die. If it's a white die. If it's a blank, you lose an action. It's not. Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Takes a licking, keeps on ticking.
We're hot on these white dice. I can't shoot Vader now.
No.
I know you're not in range 3 with your stormtroopers because I know you haven't been shooting me with a regular gun.
Correct.
I don't think your short troopers are not in arc, nor would they be in range.
But you could move into position.
Your
EWEB is
EWEB,
not in range,
yeah, does that not look
but it
quite
is
close
in
enough?
arc. I was really hoping that you wouldn't get a shot of anything juicy.
Yeah.
Well, I can take a peek.
I don't think it is.
I think
That's
it's
not
just
close
out.
enough.
Yeah, just out.
So either way, I have to move. Your stormtroopers, I think, won't have any cover because there's 3 on this side of the wall. So I will move up. And actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna shoot. I think I'm gonna go for the short troopers
Sure.
because they're
That makes sense.
on that point.
They are.
I'm just gonna let those stormtroopers be. That should get me close enough.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So no aim or anything. But
You do get 5 black dice.
5 black dice. Surging to crits. I need 2 more if I could, please. 2 black dice. Thank you very much. All right, here we go.
All right.
Okay.
2 go through.
You have 3 since you. Oh no, you have
Yeah, heavy cover now that I'm suppressed.
Yeah, you got that suppression.
Okay,
Ooh,
2 go down.
I'll take that.
That's okay.
All right.
Still
Still there.
there.
Can you contest that?
Still there.
Victory?
That's right.
All right.
You guys have been doing any thinking about having more objectives that favor vehicles over just the regular troops?
Yes. Yes, we have.
It's not too much of a spoiler since I hinted at this before, but in terms of the question, what is my favorite unannounced expansion? My favorite unannounced expansion is one coming sometime in the future that will have some more competitive battle cards. So obviously I can't say when or what
or who or
what
how
comes
or...
with it or doesn't come with it, how many. But we are coming out with more of those in the future.
Yes.
And actually, that is my favorite unannounced expansion. That's in
That is going to be sweet.
the works. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's the one we talked about when the audio dropped, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. You're up.
Okay.
I just moved that stormtrooper into scoring position.
Hey, it is the 1.4 FDP Tower Laser Cannon team.
Yes, indeed.
Look at that precision.
Looking at that range 5. AB. Can I have I need another range ruler, another segment. Got 4.
True.
I'm asking my opponent if I may please borrow his one of his range ruler segments.
Certainly may.
Thank you very much, sir. This may be a moot point because
I think you got range.
I think I got range.
He just wants to wave this
Yeah.
beam
I
around.
mean, it actually works. Like, I don't think you really want to go to 6 because
No,
it's
it's a
not
little
like these
cumbersome.
are
But 5 is nice. It's a nice.
indestructible.
It's a nice additional bit of design space for us too.
Oh, I could shoot at your officer just to
You could.
be that guy.
You could. Take
Yeah.
out my command structure.
I'm definitely going to try and, I think, eliminate the those tenacious shore troopers. So aim and shoot.
Yep.
At them shore troopers. I'll spend the aim.
Two go through?
2 go through.
All right, shore troopers.
Last time 2 went through, that was
For
2
all
dead
the
shore
marbles.
troopers.
Still alive.
Still
The
kicking.
leader
Just the leader.
stands claiming this point.
All right, back to you, sir.
All right, I think it's Vader time. It's fine.
Vader
Vader time. All right, I'm going to use Vader's might. Use Vader's might to push Luke
You're going to move Luke.
up on top of this place.
Oh my goodness. Do you have the card? We can put the card back up here.
That out.
That's right. Nope, right there.
Thanks for giving a completely irrelevant card.
So that's any time during my activation, so I'll do it right there.
Yes, I'm just going to double check.
Alex, can you? Oh, and I believe you have a
Alex,
die
yes.
roll to make.
Then, if it is an enemy unit, roll 1 white defense
That's
die for
right.
each mini. That unit suffers 1
See if I
wound
can give you a wound.
for each result.
Yes.
Ah, boo!
Slamming you into that hut,
My goodness.
giving you a wound,
Into a hut.
right into that hut.
Right in a Java?
Not Java, just a
Crackus?
regular old hut. And then I am going to move.
Well, sir, you've activated my trap card.
Oh, have I?
Tenacity is online.
That's true, actually.
We're up to 8 dice now.
All right, so I'm going to move here, and I'm going to use my
See,
attack.
you still get to do some cool tricks.
I do get to do plenty of cool tricks, but I don't get to throw your P-tower out of the game.
No. And you can't put it off the battlefield.
No, but I could have
We're
put
just
it
going to put
in
it in
a
an
useless
inconvenient
place. Yeah.
spot. Yeah.
So here comes some dice. I'm going to use it on the rebel troopers there.
Yep.
1 hit.
1 hit.
That's got
Fine.
blast, so it goes right through cover.
Yep. So rolling. Nothing. So I lose a
So
die.
1 goes down.
It doesn't really matter. We'll keep Rex alive in here.
Sure.
There's her.
All right. Then I get to place you in cohesion.
Yeah, so that's my unit leader.
Like so.
Thusly. Okay.
And I have 1 action left.
Do you want to get into melee with my laser cannon?
Probably.
Keeps you safe.
Either
Or
that
you
or
could
I
get into
could
melee
work-
with these troopers.
I could do a few things.
You've pulled them out of cover, though.
I have. I think I'd like to be in cover, and I think I'd like to be as far from Luke as I can.
Oh, right. That will get you into... So, difficult.
We can't see Alex.
Yeah, he'll be out of there in a second. So, speed 1 into difficult terrain and into base contact with a laser cannon.
Yep, I'm going to use...
Means that you can't be shot.
Yep, I'm going to use force reflexes to get
yes.
myself a dodge token.
And since you also have Master of the Force, that'll stay.
I'm going to bring
Right.
my lightsaber down.
Right. So did you move twice then?
I did. I moved once. I triggered Relentless to scatter you. And
right,
then I
yes.
moved again to get into... Oh, right, so I would not... I've already done an attack. So,
Yep.
But I'll be in base to base, which is where I want to be.
Yep.
You guys are not in cover.
Yep.
And it
you have a
is
dodge
your...
token.
Way
I
to
have
keep
a
him
dodge
honest,
token.
Luke.
And it is your turn.
All right. I believe I only have this left, and it should just be the core unit, who unfortunately will not get to shoot at Vader. And they don't like being out of cover like that.
Vader was what, half health?
He's at half
Yeah.
health, correct.
I'm gonna roll. They got a rally. Don't lose it, so they only get 1 action. I'm tempted just to get back into cover
It's not bad.
because I could get chewed up real bad by that
certainly
E-Web.
could.
Who E-Web has not activated, correct?
No, nor has my mortar team.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I'm less concerned about the mortar team since it is critical 1 and would punch 1 through anyways.
True.
Probably. But yeah, I'm just going to use my action to get, because here's what I could do.
You could shoot me.
I could actually move
Or
closer.
you could get into the objective range.
I could.
You gotta get there.
I would have to get there.
I mean, it is probably the last round, or so I'm told.
yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, I wouldn't get into cover. I mean, if we're just playing this round, I feel like I should do it. Oh, you know what though? I'm still behind this barricade,
Yeah, it's
so
gonna
my
be
guy would have
difficult.
to be speed 1.
You guys will definitely not guess the 2-pip Luke card name, but the Vader
you can
one,
do it.
a couple people have right.
Yeah, I think I can do it.
And you can get back into cover, too. This thing's interesting.
Kind of.
Maybe. Maybe not. Perhaps not with
Just
cohesion.
barely.
You got into range, but I don't know that you're going to have cohesion to keep everyone safe.
I can definitely put a guy back
Sure.
there. I can put someone kind of hiding in here.
True.
Because why not?
Because why not?
There we go.
Work with these guesses.
Why not?
You're my
Work with
sister.
what you got. All right. It is my core unit.
That would be incorrect.
All right. Well, I would really like to get rid of this emplacement. You're stacked up with dodge tokens, but my only chance is to punch a crit through. So I'm just going to aim and fire with my mortar at that unit. Looking for wow, that'll work. 2 so far, and then my aim token,
What are you
3
shooting at?
crits. My mortar is expertly calibrated.
Can you see him?
Oh yeah.
See me?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I can see your gun. I can see the corner of your base.
You're trying
Oh
to
my
finally
goodness.
take out the
Please,
replacement.
please remove this unit.
Well, I can't spend any of these dodge
Exactly.
tokens. That sucks.
All right, finally.
Yep, there's the 2 wounds you needed.
Kablamo.
Is that the first thing that you've actually killed?
Yeah,
first full
first
unit.
full thing. I've spread some wounds around.
You have.
Although nobody has. This is the first full unit that's been deleted in the game.
That's actually, yeah,
Full
true.
stop.
Yeah, that stormtrooper. Where's the stormtrooper unit leader?
He still has.
He's-
He's right here.
He's
Oh, I
claiming,
didn't even see him.
He's claiming my objective for me.
Oh,
Doing his job.
could have shot at him. Alrighty. Cool. Is that's all? That's all my stuff.
You're all done. I have my e-web.
I'm all
stuff.
done. Yeah.
All right, it hasn't shot yet, so it's going to have a fun time here. I'm going to take a name token.
Alex, how come you didn't fly your speeder bike straight at my emplacement when it had a order token so that we could show fire support?
That is a good question, and
Is
it's
it-
because
is it-
I didn't want to lose.
Is it because after our last stream game you're a little
I
a
need
little
to win.
shy
I
of
need to
fire
win.
support?
And my ego depends on it, Luke. You know how it is. I couldn't possibly lose another on-camera game to you and retain any dignity.
Well, it's okay. You've trounced me in playtesting a couple times in a row. So.
It's been a good run so far.
It has been.
For this.
When you finish the
for August.
playtesting games, like, yeah, well, that's ridiculously overpowered, Alex. We probably need to fix that.
Yeah, I keep testing the things I feel like are under the curve to sort of prove a point, and then I lose.
And I
I'm
keep
like, yeah,
bringing
they
in
should be
stuff that I
better.
think is overpowered. And
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I guess it is. So shooting at Luke would be fun, but it's the last round, so
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna shoot
just
your rebel
standing
troopers.
there. I had I reflect the.
You do have a,
Bullets back
yeah,
at
you
you.
would. That would be risky. I'll shoot
Not
your
worth
rebel
it.
troopers.
Yeah, they don't have cover.
All right, so I'm using my suppression generator. I do surge to crit, so that's 3 crits so far. I'm gonna use my
Whoa.
aim token to reroll 2 dice.
I'll allow it.
And we've got 4. You have not got cover against my E-web.
I keep giving you the dice.
But you do have a suppression
4
token,
white,
so you're going to take 3.
D6s.
3
Oh, I
total.
do have a suppression
You do.
token. That's right.
I gave that to
That's
you.
why I couldn't move and
I
shoot.
gave that to you benevolently. All right, just one.
Yeah,
Just one.
just one.
But it is suppressive.
right,
So a
I
couple
have
will go through.
3 now.
It looks like I eke out a point here at the last.
The Duros died.
Oh no!
That was unintentional.
Oh no! All right. Good game, sir.
Yeah.
Do we have another round in us, or is that a wrap?
We do not have
All
another
right,
round.
so that's
That's
it.
a wrap.
The
That's
council
it.
has spoken.
I have eked out a minor victory.
Yeah, so
But that was a pretty even game. I think that would have been pretty interesting to play out.
Yeah, the new emplacements are very interesting to play with. It's sort of more to think about because you got that fire support going. You've got coordinate. I didn't get to show that off, but something I could have done in this game is instead of putting my I kind of got split because of the building, but on a different deployment, I could have had my Rebel veterans within range 1 of both of my emplacements because their coordinate keyword does work with the original laser cannon emplacement. I could have been giving that order tokens. Obviously, giving an order token to the Mark II means it can use fire support, so there's some interesting synergies there. Yeah, same with you. The shore troopers can give tokens to either.
they ended up needing to claim objectives, but had they remained here, I could have started coordinating some orders. The mortar was very helpful just as a unit on its own.
Oh, yeah,
it
the
chipped a
mortar's
lot of
really
damage
annoying.
through, did some suppression. So
Yeah.
if you can
Camera
put it in a
tilting.
good place, then it is in pretty good shape. But
Alex, sit down and slide left.
all right, jeez, getting so many stage directions here. So they're handy little pieces. They're a low point activation as well, which can be very helpful.
Yeah, what are they, 36
but-
points?
Yeah, but they take a lot of finesse to use, and they are vulnerable to being taken off the board pretty easily, although your emplacement managed to weather quite a barrage before it went down.
It did. Having 2 courage helps.
But yeah, let's throw these beautiful paint jobs up on the
And
dice
let's
cam.
give the stream a little bit more of what they want.
All right.
We're going to show maybe one of these.
Yeah, why
Which
not?
one did they guess correctly?
Oh,
They
good
guessed,
question.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah,
They
we
guessed
should-
Vader's.
Yeah, they guessed Fear and Dead Man.
Multiple
Let's show
multiple
them the
people.
card.
All right, yeah, that
did
was
guess
going to be my next
Vader's
round
two
play
picks.
for
If you
sure.
guys want an ultra hardcore show off, just put stuff here.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, put our.
So
our-
first
our
show
two boys
the
there.
card cam,
Yeah.
stream gods.
Pull up that card
There he
cam.
is.
Boom. Is that good, Ryan?
And we're waiting to make
We're
sure it's
getting
in
there.
it's
So
in-
yeah,
it's in
multiple
view.
multiple people got the Fear and Dead Men right, and
Mm-hmm.
that is a pretty awesome card.
Yeah, it is pretty gnarly. It definitely turns Vader's surge rolling
It's
into a bit of a
everywhere.
double-edged
Yeah.
sword because you can dish those wounds out, but
Yeah.
you know it also what it means is if he rolls a blank, it does something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and he
so-
can collect a lot of dodge tokens from that.
Yeah, just to summarize the card, yeah, every time a unit near him activates, he'll get a dodge, and when he spends that dodge to use deflect, he does damage on blanks instead of the. So basically, because it's still a red die, you're going from a 1 in 6 to doing damage to a 1 in 3, which pretty gnarly, especially when you can proc it every time you're attacked by something near you because of the dodge tokens that the card feeds to Vader. So yeah, it lives
Yeah.
up to its name.
That's
So we
pretty
still
slick.
keep something in the barrel for
Yeah,
the
we got a
preview
few more
articles.
surprises. We got a few more surprises for the next
Some
few,
more stuff
next
on
week.
the 6th
Yeah.
when we
Yep.
release the points updates and the other, errata and fixes
A
and
few
new
more
rules reference.
surprises.
Yeah, yeah. So we got one command card in the dark here.
Yeah, so-
but I will say the new command cards, they really changed the game for these characters, and they're really fun to play.
Yeah, I mean, certainly using that 3-pip Darkness Descends on Commander Vader.
Let him get just close enough to have an impact right away.
Taking cheaper Force Reflexes and Saber Throw on Commander Vader means you get more bang for your buck. You get in there sooner, you can do some damage. Luke, obviously, Commander Luke doesn't really need the help, but
No.
that's okay though. He gives some
Just
interesting
having more options is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, exactly.
He's probably going to stick with the pistol, just in general, and rather than
No, his command
oh,
cards.
command
though.
cards, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Do we have any other burning questions in the chat?
Not that I saw outside of all the sorts of stuff that we cannot.
Yeah, that's right. So,
cannot answer.
like we said, the 6th, watch for those points changes being put up on the website along with the errata that we have talked about.
And before that, Thursday, we're going to be showcasing some Star Wars X-Wing, specifically the huge ships with epic plays. So if you're into that kind of thing,
Definitely stay tuned for
tune
that.
in Thursday. But other than that, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the look at what's to come for Legion. We stream new content every Tuesday and Thursday here on FFGLive, so be sure to subscribe to our channel. Do not forget to ring the little bell to get notifications when we do post new videos. Thanks to Carolina Game Tables for this awesome table. And be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Links in the description below. So
Yes.
thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you.